Our guest today
is Chelsea Handler.
The one of a kind, Chelsea Handler. Chelsea Handler.
Friend of the show. I've known her for a while. I used to see her out. Been to her house. We had a friend's night over there once. She's very, well, I would say quite wealthy. Yeah, I think that's a safe
I would say so. She started, potentially she started this sort of genre, Chelsea, lately on E! Her with like 5 comedians that are not especially famous at that moment, and they do become famous from the show, and she leads it. So that she's kind of I'm going to call her a trailblazer.
Whoa, okay.
She's a pistol. She says what's on her mind. She doesn't hold back.
Very true. She's a traveling comedian also. She does a lot of things, but she sells out some big venues. And when she goes on the road, I think I saw her at Caesar's Palace years back, and does a good job. Also has a book out. I'll have what she's having. She also has a special out.
The feeling.
Yeah. Oh, also, I gave her an idea for her next special, a title. We talk about how to name specials. We talk about her dating life. She's pretty easy about answering anything.
She is so single. Doesn't want to get married, but she does. We will talk about her current boyfriend, who she described as a mountain man who lives in the mountains, and she goes and visits her mountain man.
Right.
That was an interesting
possible boyfriend. I'm not sure how she describes it, but a guy she does hang out with. And this is a world of people hang out with people.
Yeah.
It's a world
and this is what you're going to hear us hanging out with Chelsea. And we
well, not that way, but yeah.
Our overtalk rate was pretty decent, 3.4 per 10 seconds of chatter.
Per milliliter. Yeah, we did pretty good on that. And I think you'll enjoy it. Let's get her going.
Oh my God, penises! Hi, my 2 penis-faced buddies.
I don't know what's
I saw Chelsea recently, Dana, at a little backyard get-together.
Oh.
Remember I came over here on the couch. I said hi.
Was it at Ted's house?
It was at Gervitz's, our manager.
Oh, yes. That was a really fun party. Apparently, I left that party too early. I heard it went all night long and that you got on stage and sang.
No, you know what? That was the idea. It was going to be people would sing. But by the way, I got there at 7 because everyone was a little older. So I got there at 7 going, oh, no one's going to be there yet. And then people are leaving. I go, wait, guys, I'm the old guy, but I wasn't the oldest guy there for once. And then Dana, I don't think you went to that one, but after about 9, it was kind of slowing down. And then I goes, are they going to sing? And they're like, no, they did a birthday cake. And then they go, and then his daughter sang. Remember that, Chelsea?
Yeah.
Lovely song. And then I said, I guess that's it. And they go, no, Eddie's not going to sing. And I go, oh, I thought we were all going to sing. Okay. So I leave. And then about 2 hours later, Sandler's like, you're up. And I'm like, I'm up. I'm in bed. Are we doing this?
And did you go back?
No, he's too far away. It was an hour.
Right. Exactly. There was a lull in that party after about 2 hours. And that's when a group of people left. I didn't know that we were supposed to stay and things were going to, there was going to be an act 2. So we may as well have left together, David, like we've done so many nights of our lives.
So many times. And I liked it because the party was fun, but it felt like a long party and it felt like there's a cake and we weren't really bailing out. It was just like, I thought they were trying to say scoot, because there's probably 30 people left.
Also, I feel like Gesundheit, if that was a sneeze, Dana. I also feel like LA is so lame. You know what I mean? Like no one is out till 9. I mean, that's what time everyone goes to bed. Every party ends earlier. It's just it's almost like it's so hard to even go out because the scene is kind of just so subdued. So many people are sober. It's just not what it used to be. I'm going to just throw that out there.
Just throw that out there to talk about.
Explain to me as a fellow human being why anybody in their right mind would go to a Hollywood party.
No.
Isn't it the most hideous? I mean, I like 4 people at your house for dinner. I'm not going to book it. That would be nice. 5, one conversation's happening. But the small talk derby, what's up with Chelsea? What's going on? Oh yeah, God, I don't know how you guys deal with it.
Well, when it's hours of that and you keep walking to the same people all night, you don't know what to say the 8th time you see them. And
yeah, and it's also like you have to question why you're at parties. Like, what's your motivation? Why am I here? Like, am I promoting anything? Like, why am I going to an Oscar party? I'm not nominated for an Oscar. Why am I at the party? Like, I always am like, no, it's you got to show up once in a while to like refresh people's memories. But I find LA to be, if I wish I want to have that place in New York. That's going to be my goal. I think that's a little bit, it's too unhealthy. Like I'm becoming almost elderly in this lifestyle. Whenever I'm here, which isn't frequently, I come back home and like last night I was supposed to go over for friends for dinner, which the kind of event you're describing or dinner you're describing, Dana, which is actually sounded really nice. But even getting in my car and I am in a compromised situation because I just had some surgery. So, it's not fun. I can't drink. I can't really do anything. But I was going to get in my car and go over there. And I was like, I don't think so. I don't think I would rather just sit here and watch mindless television and sleep as much as I can. I think I overheard one of you lesbians saying that you slept for 11 hours last night.
I did. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Did you masturbate to get yourself to sleep?
No, but I woke up and I had completed the task and it was like, what the fuck was I dreaming?
Yeah, you can do it in your sleep.
Oh, yeah. So who started? What I meant was the movement in the stand-up world with women, females, whatever you prefer. And it seems to me that Joan Rivers made a turn where she really was more incendiary than the 60s Joan. And then there's this continuum of female stand-ups just saying what they want. And I put you in that, you're like the leader kind of in a way. There's younger ones coming back. I don't know. I mean, when did stand-up turn for women where squirting jokes and stuff like that could come out? Who
just anything
that?
goes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like a rush it's like a wave, if you will, no pun intended, a wave of squirters talking about squirting and women, the more, listen, we're all talking about the same stuff when you break down stand-up comedy. You're talking about your personal life, your relationships, your relationship to drugs and alcohol. It's all the same pitter patter of ideas. And it's just like, how does your execution vary? So I guess if it's, the more women that are up talking about this, the more accepted it becomes by nature. And there are more female comics than there've ever been. But I don't know when it started. I mean, Joan certainly paved the way for all of us. I can say that. I didn't really realize that until she was dead. Like I was like, no, I paved the way for myself. I had an arrogance about my own success. Like Joan Rivers wasn't somebody I had looked up to. And then, when I did my homework and grew up a little bit, I realized what she went through and like, going to the comedy clubs, like women didn't even get on stage without being like, they would get on stage as characters, like housekeepers or, maids or like, just like
Phyllis Diller was kind of a character.
Yeah, right. And Joan was like being herself and dressing up and going to these gross comedy clubs. I mean, we all know how gross comedy clubs are. They are. Yeah. That's where all disease begins. And that's where the disease in my shoulder probably began. And it's just presenting now. But yeah, she was a trailblazer, of course, which is an annoying word for some reason. I find that annoying. I don't like when people call me a trailblazer either, because I'm not out there with, blazing trails. But I think that it's just good to see women succeed. It's good to see women being taken seriously. And it's like the idea that women aren't funny is just so dumb. And I know both of you know that. But like, for so many men out there who really think that comedy is just a men's game. It's been so insulting for so long that you just kind of turn off that noise. Like, when I was doing, for instance, my first talk show, Chelsea Lately, I didn't pay attention to any of that because I didn't go home at night thinking, what was it like to be the only woman in late night? Those were just comparisons that everybody else made. And I feel like if you spend too much time thinking about that aspect of it, it's taking away from your creative outlet anyway. You know what I mean? You should be creating, you should be doing your thing and not looking around to see what your competition is doing. Because I certainly didn't look at David Letterman and think I was in competition with him. You know what I mean? I wasn't. I was on the E! Network, Right. So that's what I think I have to say about that.
Making a buzz on the E network, even though he's on network, but you're helping E get wider and more looked at, which is interesting. Also, when I go to the Comedy Store, you don't even blink. Every other comic is a female. I mean, everywhere you go, it's not even like, oh, you're not one of the comedians. You know how it used to be. You'd be like, wait, there's a female comic on the show tonight. It would be like Rita Rudner or something Paula Poundstone. And, but now there's so many. So it's great. I mean, listen, it's all if you got some game, and they don't mention there's also bad male comedians. So it's not like
lots of them.
Guy ones are good and the females are bad. It's like, if you're good, you're good. And so you see a nice mix. I've seen some on Instagram that are funny. They just pop in my feed. So,
when I was growing up, it was like the female comedian was referred to as they wouldn't say David Letterman, the guy. And that was more prevalent. This woman comedian and woman. I see less of that more than just comedian. And one thing's kind of cool about you is you produced a show for Whitney, right? I mean, you do a lot of producing of things and for other people. So
yeah, I did at that time. Well, yeah. Whitney's show didn't really last too long, but we tried. And then we produced a show for Ross Matthews. He wasn't really a production powerhouse at the time I was there. So it was really hard to get. We did After Lately. David, you were on that show with us, which was like a satire of Chelsea Lately, where I was just like a really exaggerated version of, the cunt that I am. But we did so much like, where was I going with this? We did so much
producing Whitney.
Oh yeah. It was really hard to get anything done at E with them being behind anything. Like they were just trying to assuage me because we had a hit show. So they'd be like, oh, you want to produce this? Great, go ahead. And then they'd be like, oh, it's not getting the numbers or whatever. But it was hard to get anything going on E. I mean, the Kardashians in my show were like, and I don't know, Saving Sunset or whatever, it's Selling Sunset. Saving Sunset.
I think that was later. You were really, you paved the way for shitty flip shows.
Yeah. He really took a hit after I left
for
and the
sure.
Kardashians left. And actually, I know this is probably coming out later, but I'm about to host the Critics' Choice Awards, which brings me back to E! This next Friday night, which is a full circle. I'm going back to my birthplace.
I love that show. When I first saw that show with you and the comedian stuff, it was one of the first like lo-fi shows because cable was still coming up and stuff. And so there are shows that do that now, but usually it was the band and the so it was very cool how lo-fi it was. And casual.
Thank you.
Really stood out.
It was very casual.
If you're just funny, you don't need much. You need a camera, and then people are like, oh, you don't need all this other noise because some of those shows there's only just this much comedy and there's little pieces, but those are harder what you're doing because it's just like turn the cameras on, let's just talk, and we'll find things to talk about, and it just blew up, and that's why I agree. When you left, it was a big hit on there.
But also, like it was so much fun because you guys are from SNL, so about like ensemble. But what was so much fun about that show was that the casualness of it allowed us to like just book my friends on the round table. So many comics that I didn't even know that I discovered on my own show whose careers have blown up, like Fortune Feimster or Joe Coy, like Kevin Hart used to be on the round table, like all these people. So and it was so unique in the fact that like at the time anyway, because everyone's ripped off that show now too. I mean, David, you've even ripped it off, but like and I don't believe ideas can be ripped off, so I don't care anyway. But like putting comics together when you become a comedian essentially to stand on a stage with a microphone alone, like it's the most probably narcissistic you can be. And so to have comics, to have 4 comedians on a round table at the same time sharing space and actually having to listen to each other and riff off of each other was a joy and also kind of unexpected because you don't see comedians interacting that much.
No, Carson would in the early days, he'd have people stay out there. So you might see Bob Hope and Don Rickles get in a fight or something, but that went away and it was one guest, one out, and then highly, highly organized with an outline of what you're supposed to get to in the commercial breaks. And so since Your thing was, I hate this. One of my least favorite words was just authentic, that when the comedians were riffing, you knew it was happening in real time. There wasn't a rehearsal. It's not a setup. It's just ping pong, which made it really pop. So I see why it went on. It was 7 years.
You can also do, when I was doing David Lately, which was not a ripoff. When I was doing Davey Lately, the part of the fun, the hosting is kind of hard, but if you're dishing off, you're not doing all the lifting anymore. So you give someone a subject, and now you're just tagging what they say on their jokes, and then someone else jumps in. Now you're like, oh shit, if you get good people in there that can just bullshit like that, and then people just like to see like they're at dinner and you're just bullshitting basically.
Yeah, and that's what's, you hang out with comics all the time. Like, the best things that happen are never being filmed. So you're like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we could film these conversations, which is essentially what that show became.
Right. The green room, basically, is
right.
Bring it out front. So what, well, I guess we should mention before we get going away is you have a book, right? Coming out.
I have a book. A book is called I'll Have What She's Having. That comes out February 25th on my 50th birthday. And then my special is called The Feeling. And that comes out on Netflix on March 25th, which is a month after my birthday. So I don't know when this airs, but you can just piece it together however you'd like.
We'll do it.
But all right, yeah, so The Feeling is Netflix. So because I remember I came to see, is it possible I came to see you at Caesar's Palace once years and years and years ago? Did you ever play Caesar's?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I used to play Caesar's Palace. Now I do a residency at Vegas where I perform once a month, which is how much time I'm willing to spend at Vegas. I perform once a month at the Cosmopolitan at the Chelsea Theater. So I perform inside myself. But I was at Caesar's many years ago.
Years and years. Because I think it was during maybe your show, and I think Brad Wallach, those guys were there. I think.
How many specials have you done? Which one is this?
I don't know, actually. 4 or 5. 4 or 5. Probably 5. So
how did this one feel? Because I think it's very hard. I did a couple, they sucked because when you know you have one, there was a technical issue and you have one shot. And you've kind of worked on this stuff in little clubs, and now you're in a barn with 1,400 seats and 3 balconies. So how did this one feel? Like your experience of the other ones, what you want to land is like a feeling, basically, of how you're authentically your best self on stage, right? Not shooting a special, in a sense.
No, I think you do treat it like you're shooting a special, but you're supposed to you're supposed to shoot 2 in a row. Dana, sorry, David.
I would need a nap. I'm too weak and old to do 2 in a row.
Well, I mean, I guess so, because that's how you don't screw it up. If you don't get what you want in the first set, then you know to get it in the second set. So somebody should have definitely told you that.
No, it's all
or
right.
You can do 2 shows in 2 nights, more expensive, but you can do.
Yes, right. Of course, you can do that.
Then topic-wise or material-wise, is there something that is a little surprising for your fans? This is just me asking off the top of my head. Like, are you stretching the envelope further in terms of honesty? Because it's sort of your brand of like.
Oh, I'm always honest. I'm always,
But are you even more honest?
Well, yeah. I mean, these are some personal stories. I have a really great Andrew Cuomo story in this special, a personal Andrew Cuomo story, because I was trying to get penetrated by him during the pandemic.
I remember that trending that you were going to try to fuck Andrew Cuomo.
I remember. I was hoping it was going to be a live stream.
I know. I wanted to also live stream it, and I wanted to do it for my country because he just felt so. Like we had leadership at a time where we were so dehydrated for it. But I have a really good story in there about that. I have a great George W. Bush story going to Kennebunkport compound, like on 40 milligrams of THC, and having to interact with the president on a pickleball court, the former president.
Right.
So there's there's a lot of sharing. The feeling is actually a reference to something I did as a child, to like at the jungle gym at school, to get a certain feeling around my Pikachu area that a lot of 9-year-old girls did. And so that's a reference to that. I take you from my youth into my adulthood and kind of telegraph the fact that I've always been this way. But yes, the special felt great. You know, I'm at a point where I've done this for so long. I'm very capable and confident in what I'm doing. I don't have, I'm not worried, about it. I'm like, you get to a certain point, I think, in your career, as I hopefully the two of you can also attest. You know what you're still here because you got yourself this far. So like, you know what you're doing. You don't have to be in your head about it anymore. At a certain point, you realize that's just such a wasted energy and that you're successful because of you. So just keep doing you.
No, I agree. I have a self-critical side of my brain, and if I do stand up in a club, one night from the other can be completely different. If I get into a character or some idea, I like it to be kind of riffing, parse material and riffing.
Right.
But very hard with like 19 cameras. I don't know why they need that many. And then I get locked into doing my outline. Like, okay, I've got to get to this next bit. But if I was live, I go, oh, I'm going to go over here and do Anthony Fauci for 10 minutes. So
you can't do that during a special. Riffing, it would be very difficult to capture because you don't know.
Yeah,
right.
unless you did 10 nights, unless you did a lo-fi crew and did 10 nights. But
or crowd work. That's tough on a special.
Well, one thing I was just curious, your take on this, hot take, that this era of Netflix special and comedians playing stadiums and arenas and multiple nights at Madison Square Garden. I don't know exactly when it started, but it's a phenomena. And I don't know if one of our great female comics, sorry to put it in that box, has made that leap to arenas or Madison Square Garden, or has someone done that?
Amy. Well, I played Madison Square Garden, but not I think I did the theater at Madison Square Garden. I've definitely done Radio City for multiple nights. Amy Schumer played Madison Garden, I believe.
There's 20,000, 18,000. Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, Amy did arenas. I did an arena tour, at some point in my career. I don't do arenas now. I do like usually 3,000 to 4,000 seaters, but like, I mean, I think it's going to happen. There's so many people coming up. Taylor Tomlinson, she sells tons of tickets. Otsko. I mean, there's a ton. So yeah, I think it's also a choice. Some comics don't want to move to that level. Like there's a level of intimacy. I remember dating Joe Coy, and Joe Coy does arenas. Yeah. And I would go and do guest sets at his shows, and I'd be like, this is too many people. Like, how can you, I have so many facial expressions and like subtleties. How can that be captured in such a big stadium or arena? And I remember getting off stage being like, easily. So like, you kind of have this attitude like, oh, I got to keep it intimate. But then when you're exposed to that kind of audience, you're like, whoa, this is fucking awesome.
If they lock in, it's okay. Yeah, you need screens. I would say.
There's always large screens.
Okay, that works. Yeah,
a lot of my jokes are very small. They're not even jokes. Actually, it's not funny. None of my stuff is funny, and so it's harder to play any room.
That is difficult for you, David, as a comedian, to not have funny material and or be funny yourself. It's a deficit. You do so well with all that. Those problems of not being funny and not having funny material.
Sometimes I do, actually not on my own, but when I play the bigger rooms with Adam or something, same thing. It's harder because you see guys like in the hallways where it's like at a concert where you see those guys. There's guys selling beer over here. There's always someone talking. There's always people drifting off. Not everyone's ever focused at once. But if they're locked into you, like if it's your crowd, I always say Nate Bargatze, his crowd, he plays big places. And they're just waiting for like throwaway jokes, setup jokes. They're laughing at setups and they're just like so intently listening. I go, that's the dream. Just get people like waiting for every fucking thing you say instead of the big swings. You're like, yabba dabba doo. You got to really sometimes to get everybody at once. You go bigger. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't think you do now, David. I don't think you do.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
So what? You're a busy human being,
entrepreneur. I like the word entrepreneur, even though I have no business. No business.
We have a correction.
I have 5 books now.
This new book.
Books do really well.
Why should people go buy this book? I'll do a Larry King.
Great question.
You know what? If you're into me and you're into my stories and you're into my humor, go buy the book. If you're not, skip it. Like, this is my 7th book. And my 5th or 4th stand-up special to be determined. We still haven't figured that out. And I don't know. I like to be I like to hustle. You know what I mean? I like to do my own thing, and I don't really like direction from people. So as long as
you are an entrepreneur, you're in charge of your career.
Yes,
you're not someone for hire. You do the hiring.
Right. Like I don't like to be. I have been hired for jobs, but historically, I work best when I'm my own boss. So I do my podcast, I do my specials, I do my books, I do my TV stuff. But I try not to have a long-term position where anyone is giving me notes on anything.
I would say the only time I've really not enjoyed show business is when I was working with people with different sensibilities and they had power over me.
Yeah.
That's the worst feeling.
Yes.
They're offering, I just want some advice for a sec.
Yeah.
Like they're asking me, can I write a book? Just you don't have to answer this in long form, but what's your advice? Someone writing a book. I mean, did you talk into a tape recorder? Did you have a writer's assistant? Do you just start throwing stuff at the wall, or how do you do it?
Didn't you have a book, Dana? I think I have your book. Don't you?
None, I don't think.
No, I didn't.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of your book, David.
My book would be too dark. I mean, no one would believe it is the problem, because I don't have that image, but anyway.
I think it's pretty. I mean, listen, I think as long as you're honest, for me, I just think honesty is a commodity. There's a lack of it. People are a little bit scared of honesty and like conflict and uncomfortable things. So I like to kind of go ahead, head first into that stuff. And that works for me. And it's like, whatever your point of view is, I think anyone can write a fucking book, especially like in our industry, and everybody does. So that should be your first, barometer that you can do it. And your stories, the reason why they're yours is because they're not believable. Like everyone's stories you could say that about. So I would say, I don't use a writer's assistant. When I write my books, I do it all by myself and I just start writing. I sit down at a computer. Yeah, I type everything on a computer. And then I have an editor look at it. And then when it's like shaped and it's in some sort of form, I'll start sharing it with people. But usually I don't like too much feedback. Like I have like 3 or 4 people whose opinions I respect. And then based on that, I'll be like, okay, like I'll go to them for the cover or the title or, like my editor named this book, I'll have what she's having. I was like, I'm not naming a book. I'll have what she's having about myself. That's so stupid. And she's like, no, that's how you feel after reading the book. I'm telling you, you want what you're having. And I was like, okay. And then I had to think about it because usually I was like, that's a little, but then I was like, yeah, you're right. I want people. That's what I want to inject people with. It's like a little bit of optimism and in sad, dark times.
What about when Harry met Sally, where she says, I'll have what she's having? Was there any conversation of maybe not referring to a famous romantic comedy?
That's part of the famous.
No, that's part of the reference.
Oh, that's part of it.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what you have to learn about books. It's kind of like, we have a lot to learn, Dava.
Yeah, we're that tight. We go by one name, Dava. But thank you. The only thing I'd be interested in for you is like, you're very honest, but then you'll get to a chapter or a point or a story where you're going to hurt somebody maybe. And you like them or you don't like them. How do you navigate that? Or you just, do you just navigate that a little bit? It's a judgment call. Should I bury this person at the party where they were drunk or keep it in? Stuff like that.
Well, you have to legally shroud people's identity unless they're a public figure. So like if I had my story about Andrew Cuomo, which happens to be in my stand-up special and in my book, there's a crossover. It's two kind of different, like there's way more room for detail and everything in the book, but he's a public figure. So I tell like one version of that story in the book and it's the same version, but different storytelling styles for stand-up for books. But like for him, I don't have to ask permission because everything I'm telling is true. For a friend of mine that I'm writing about who who isn't a public figure that I'm saying something embarrassing or bad about, like I have to shroud her identity so that no one will read it and recognize who you're talking about. So sometimes it's like I'll make up a character. I'll make a guy, a girl, or make you make them a different age, a different part of the world they live in, and blah, 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 just to kind of shroud their identity. But that's what you have to do when you write books also.
I've gotten all I need today. Thank you.
I have a question.
This is your motivational talk for you guys this morning, for both of you, Dava.
I have a question about your, you don't like bosses at work, but do you like when you date someone, do you like to be bossed around?
A boss in the bedroom. I mean, I like being sexually bossed around. I mean, no one's really going to boss me around because that's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? I don't have time for that. But I do like sexually when somebody kind of tosses me around and tells me to shut up or like pushes my head down, like playful sex. I like that.
Into the wall.
Did Joe Coy do that?
Probably when I asked him to. You got to kind of tell guys, luckily these days, that you want that. And that you want to get so yeah, I'm sure Joe Coy was a little bit, trying to throw me around. I'm sure.
Well, also,
did you call him Joe Coy?
You seem like you go, hey, Joe Coy.
During sex all the time. I would go, oh my God, Joe Coy, Joe Coy. Oh my God, Joe Coy, are you in? What's happening?
I've never heard anyone just call him Joe. I think it's always Joe Coy.
I didn't know that he didn't know how to spell Joe Coy. I thought Joe Coy, I thought Jokoy was like his birth name.
One
and
name.
His name is
like
actually
Madonna.
Joe. And then Coy is a made up name. So, and then he combined Joe Coy. So I don't know.
Worked. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was actually difficult when I was writing the book, because there's a chapter I talk about my relationship with Joe Coy, and I'm a real big on spelling and grammar. Like I find it to be a turn on when also people pay attention to spelling and grammar.
Sure.
And so he spells his name Jokoy, and I had to spell it Joe and then Koy and a space. I did. I couldn't spell it that way that he wants people to spell it, just out of respect for myself.
It's not an actual name in the English language. J-O.
No
I
one's
associate with a female spelling.
Well, that's right. Women who are named Joe, it's J-O, and he's spelling his name like a woman. So I had to respect him because I know he doesn't identify as a woman. So I wanted to spell his name correctly. Just by chance, he might see it and learn how to spell his own name.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Coy it's whimsical a little bit. I don't know. Joe, Joe's like a Joe guy. Joe Coy's kind of artistic.
Joe Coy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it just because it's a female name. Like I would change. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe didn't know that.
Joe from Little Women. You're talking about.
Yeah. There's not that many J-Os out there.
Like who's the better stand-up on their best night? You or Joe Coy?
Well, Joe's a great stand-up. I would never say that I'm a better. He's great. I mean, he is very good at what he does. So
it would help if you said you were better.
I would never say that about any comic. I don't need to say that.
He's powerful, definitely. He's physical. He does a lot of voices of other people around the world.
You're different comics. You'll say that. That's actually good.
Yes, completely opposite ends of the spectrum. Exactly. Yeah. It'd be like comparing an apple to a pineapple.
To a typewriter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To a typewriter. to a Dyson. It would like be comparing a clean air. What is this called? An air doctor. We all have to get air doctors, right? After the fires. It would be like comparing an apple to an air doctor.
I think
it would be like comparing a pretzel to the lunar module.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
David,
it would be like, I don't have any of the good ones of that, but I was saying that maybe Chelsea.
The chemistry between the two of you is palpable. And I think the chemistry between the three of us is very intriguing as well.
So palpable is good.
Palpable is something you can almost you can feel it and you can touch it almost.
When you date a guy, do you feel like you're a little intimidating, or guys scared to ask you out? Do you think?
Yeah, I think men are very disturbed by me. Yes, I think that they
find. Is not what I said.
I think they find me off-putting, and some men really love me, and that's nice. But I think as men in general, straight guys above a certain age are a little bit put off by me. I'm not trying to be intimidating or to turn people off. I just have that essence about myself.
Well,
and I
it
can't
doesn't
really
seem like you're out trying to turn them on either. You're not like thirstily going after guys. You're just
When's
doing
the last time you had sex?
Just a few weeks ago. I have a mountain lover. I have a mountain man that I have sex with in my mountain house in Whistler, Canada, where I ski. So right now I'm in LA, and usually in the wintertime I have sex with a mountain man.
And does the mountain man have a big burly beard and really husky? What is it?
A lot of pubes. What are you getting at?
Yeah.
He has a beard. It's not burly like what you're envisioning, but he has a beard.
Yeah.
He definitely looks like he's from the mountain. You know what I mean?
Is it Bert Kreischer?
Yeah.
It is not Bert Kreischer. No. He has never been on top of me, inside of me. I don't think he's been on top of anyone except for his own wife. So that's probably for the best.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
We're going to spin that sweet.
Well, you have a mountain man in a cabin. You've got a best-selling book about to happen.
Dial it in.
You got a special. I mean, what don't you have right now?
A baby. I don't have a baby, thank God. So there's that,
Okay.
I think about all the things that I don't have that I'm grateful that I don't have, like a husband. I never wanted to be married. I just find that idea. I can't believe you've never gotten married, David. Did you get married one time?
I don't think so.
Good for you, like for making that decision. Dana, what about you? Have you been married?
It's hard to make that decision, to be honest.
I was just born to be married. I've been married for 42 years.
Oh, wow. Congrats on that. That's nice.
I guess so.
That's why Dana and I have all this sexual tension between us.
I just had a really weird childhood, and I just the walls would close in on me over time if I was just alone too much, So
right.
But if when you've had a great boyfriend and you're not married to him, and you're watching TV and you're having fun and you have your separate career in life, that's fun, right? Because you get to share stuff. It's fun, right? You don't have to get married, though. Marriage is
no.
Yeah.
No, I'm with David. I mean, David and I probably have some similar dating habits. I like just to have an open field. And even if I am dating someone, it's very clear, like, this is not, this is nice and everything, but there's not going to be any sort of long-term commitment made ever. And that's not the way I roll.
I don't think I've ever had that conversation.
That's great.
I mean, it's harder for guys to have that conversation.
Like Bill Maher
guys that look like me.
Bill Maher always says to me, everyone wants me to get married. I go, no one wants you to get married. You don't have to get married. We don't. Married people don't think that you've all got to be married. So,
especially Bill Maher. Like, who's worried about Bill Maher getting married? Who? No one. He
says. Friends
yeah, exactly.
I go to Chelsea at things just to go laugh because she's always going to say something snipey and funny about somebody. It's fucking always funny. You're always good to. I think I've even been to your house. I don't know if it's that house.
No, this is a new house. You know whose house I fucking bought? RFK. RFK Jr.'s house is the house. And he and Cheryl Hines. So I bought this house. I didn't know that they owned the house when I bought it, which would have been a huge.
Take out the weight room.
Why do you? I mean, I've had an infection ever since I moved into this house, and I believe it's from him.
He's supposed to be a health guy, and you got
staph infection from his. Look at this bruise. It's from my IV. I have to have a daily intravenous. Yeah, like
I thought that was from a rough up session with Mountain Man.
With Joe Coy.
I'm on antibiotics right now. Yeah.
Are you? Congratulations. Me too.
I did a benefit for the cardiovascular whatever. And I think Ryan Seacrest was on it. But it was a horrible environment. And I went out there and it was pulling a tractor and I bombed. And I came outside and I think you might have been smoking a cigarette. I don't even know if you smoke, but you seem like incredibly cool and confident. And you sort of went, how many of these do you do? Like you basically, in my mind, you were saying to me, why would you do this? You know? And I had the disease to please and say yes. And so that's how I remember you. And I thought you were very cool.
Oh, well, that's cute.
Yeah, it was just cute.
Yeah. Chelsea, part of her attraction is she's obviously very pretty, but she's very like kind of a tough chick that everyone feels like they have to win over because she's not easily
we're referring to you now, Chelsea.
Yeah.
She doesn't suffer.
I thought she hung up.
She doesn't suffer fools. I would not say.
You got to throw something at her that's decent because she's going to see
but
right
there's a hurt little girl in there somewhere and a vulnerable person behind that Dennis
that's
Miller
what I'm looking
exterior. There's a gooey, sentimental, cries.
A real softie.
I think everyone has.
By the way, I like that she's texting during this. Anyway, we're giving all these compliments, and you're like,
I'm just texting. I'm texting the police.
You're going. Can we wrap this up?
So okay, I have two questions. Is going to be on the podcast. Okay,
I have to say, here's two names for your next specials. Ready?
Okay.
One is More Honester. That's not bad.
Oh, that's not bad. I like that actually. More honester.
Because you're always honest, but you have another special. You're
I've
like, all right,
got one.
Okay.
I've got the balls.
Okay.
Okay. And here's one more.
So those are two suggestions.
Yeah,
and one of them
more.
I like.
I don't have a baby, thank God.
That's right.
It's not a bad one because people are like, oh, I want to hear what that shit's all about. You can never.
I feel like I've said that so many times that I like more honester though. That's a good one. I'm actually going to put that in my notes section, David.
2 words. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Quick.
2 words, 3 syllables.
Mine was intentionally. I was going for the worst title ever. So his is actually good. I was thinking of, how about just Chelsea with an exclamation point?
How about? She's already done that.
Oh, she's already done that.
I've done it. Everything is named eponymously.
She spun that name.
I've used that name up. I need a new fucking name.
You know what's funny? Whitney and Chelsea, like, there's a lot of the female comics, you know them by one name. You don't know me by Dave. You know what I mean?
Everyone knows you by Spade. Everyone goes by. Right. You guys go by last names. Well, some of the girls do too.
Guys go by last. Yeah, it's true. Sandler, Rock, Spade. We even call each other that.
Yeah, you do. That's right.
Weird, yeah.
Speaking of Hollywood parties, are you going to Guy O'Siri's house tomorrow night, David?
Oh, I'm not because I have a fucking casino gig.
Oh dear.
Well, I would love it. That's fun. I would like to see you there.
I know. I was just going to see if you wanted to go with me on my plus +1, but I can't believe, or as you're, if you were going, but
well, those are fun because he never says who's going, and I never ask. I'll just go and see what's going on. But I'm shooting this independent right now film, and this is my first day off in a while. And I definitely wanted to do this with you because it's been hard to sort of organize. But then tomorrow I have to go to a show I had booked before I did this. So I am going to miss it. I would like to do that. It's a fun night.
Well, I hope you have a great time at your casino gig. What city is that in?
No one knows. It's
exactly.
You go and
casinos are pretty tricky.
They're fun though. And when you get there, they're not bad.
Is it with Nikki?
With Nikki Glaser? No.
Mm-hmm.
No, we do a Vegas thing, sort of like Chelsea sometimes, and those are fun too. At least Vegas, you can stay up late, Chelsea.
Yeah, I like to gamble. I like to play with like lots of money and gamble. I do my show. Usually I have a bunch of friends or family or whomever, like they come and they get a block of rooms, we hook them up. They come out, fly out with me, and then we gamble. And I love gambling. I love blackjack. I love supplying everyone with money to gamble for people who don't have money to throw around. And I always start with a certain number and I always leave and I always walk out with more money. Like I am so lucky with gambling and I have made that casino, I believe, luckier.
What do you play? Blackjack? What are you playing?
Yeah, Miracle Ear. I just fucking said it. Blackjack.
I know. Well, I have a fever and I'm on antibiotics.
I'm also on antibiotics with a fever. Just FYI. Okay, so stop your complaining.
I apologize. I'm perfectly
You're on
healthy.
antibiotics?
Yeah, intravenous. Look at this, you guys. I have a PICC line in my arm.
Shit.
I have like a massive infection.
Fucking Amy Winehouse.
I know. It's embarrassing. I'm like falling apart at the seams. But I mean, I'll be okay. Just like you'll be okay, Dana Carvey. Once you get
Carvey, the whole name.
Listen, Ms. Handler.
I have a question.
Will be okay, Ms. Handler.
Dana's the toughest one.
Chelsea Manhandler. That's the special.
That's what George Bush called me when we met at his Kenny Bunkboard. He kept calling me Ms. Handler, like to really enunciate them, like to represent my like loose lifestyle. Ms. Handler, like this unmarried Hillian.
He likes to laugh. Harlot guy, W.
Harlot, yeah.
He makes
Jezebel
laugh.
Yeah, well, you would know, Dana. I mean, you played him for so many years. That's your guy.
You mean Bush Sr.?
Oh, right. Didn't you play him too? No, I'm talking about Bush Jr.
I played Jr. just in my stand-up, but Will Ferrell did him on SNL. Yeah. But I played him. Everybody does W. He's a funny character.
My podcast is called Dear Chelsea. People call in for real life advice, and it's. Yeah, so it's not like anything you guys would ever listen to.
You take phone calls from fans and
from real people. No, not fans, people who have fucking problems, and they call in. And I consider myself like a medical doctor. Yeah, I'm pretty smart about giving advice to people. I'm really good at it. And I'm really a good like motivator, like go get your shit together and get, make a good life decision. So yeah, I have a podcast called Dear Chelsea, and I'm really excited actually, guys, to be spending this. It feels like a Saturday morning today, doesn't it? It's Friday, but it feels like a Saturday morning.
I swear I thought it was Saturday.
This is the earliest we've done one. I don't think we've ever
in history
gone earlier.
Yeah,
maybe. Okay, well, maybe that explains.
I get up early, so I like this.
So do I. I always get up early, wherever I am in the world.
They said you have to be at the Beverly Center at 10, so we'll let you go. I guess
the Beverly Center. I fucking hope not. My God.
That's what they told us. They go,
I fucking hate malls.
I
grew up in New Jersey, as you know, Livingston, New Jersey, which you mentioned previously. And I have had my run and fill of shopping malls. So please don't mention any shopping mall to me again, because I'm wrapped.
Well, where are you going to go to Lady Foot Locker? They just have them on the street.
Well, don't you love food court? Don't you love a good food court, though?
You mean Sbarro? Yes, I do. A&W.
Panda Express.
A&W. Now we're talking, finally.
No, Panda Express. I do not like Panda Express. I would like to put that out there on the record.
Put it out there for future dates.
Spade's going to get a Wendy's hamburger at some point today.
Are you?
I do still eat that once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, I used to like Wendy's chicken nuggets, but that's not chicken, and I had to come to terms with that. Even though they were like my favorite fucking snack, I just had to eventually just be like, what am I putting in my body? I put so many chemicals in it already. Does it really need these chicken nuggets to put me over the top?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't appeal to me.
Chelsea, I think we'll let you go. You did a great job, and I just want to say, lastly, you did use the word assuage. Is that what you said earlier?
Assuage.
Assuage. It's great. I wrote it down. Good job.
Okay, great.
I learned one.
I think you learned a few words today, quite frankly.
By the way, when I text, if I ever text you, I have to be less like yo, because I talk like a rapper. So I have to I'll do all the spelling stuff for you.
Okay, well, don't worry. I don't think anyone's confusing you with a rapper.
Make sure you change that wrap after we hang up.
ASAP, Spady.
Yeah, change your wrap on your arm.
Chelsea, let's get you choppered out of there. Things aren't going well.
Yeah.
It's been like this, you guys. This is my life for the next week. So it's okay. Right. Don't worry.
Well, you were perfectly charming on here. Thank you for doing it.
Thank you. Nice hanging out. And I don't know who said this to me, but we'll see you around campus.
We'll see you around campus.
Okay, great. Goodbye, Dana, David,
Goodbye,
and Dava.
Chelsea.
Bye, sweetheart.
Goodbye.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all this stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman.
Folks, I like that word. Folks.
That's what a lot of politicians say. They go for the folks at home.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? They can't say men or women. They say for the folks at home.
It's a good word for Obama. Folks are hurting. Folks aren't sure how to pay the bill. That's what folks are doing.
Folks are feeling the pinch.
Folks are feeling the pain. Folks, it's definitely a lot of politicians use it. It's kind of a homey thing. But folks, we have a super guest today on Super Fly on the Wall. Carol Leifer is with us, who's a mainstream of comedy from 1981 or 2. She was on David Letterman, and she's worked as a stand-up, and also, David, her writing career.
Huge writing career.
Seinfeld.
From Seinfeld to Hacks presently, where they're winning Emmys over there.
Curb Your
Hacks
Enthusiasm.
is always doing well, yeah.
Good friends with Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld, and she has some interesting takes on their relationship. Teaser alert.
She has a book out, Dana. It's called How to Write a Funny Speech for a Wedding, a Bar Mitzvah, or Birthday, or any other event you didn't want to go to in the first place, by Carol Leifer. We laughed a lot during this one because she's a stand-up that you knew in the old days. I've known her recently, and I just saw her at the Laugh Factory, actually. So very funny, great storyteller, exactly what we want in this show.
Yes, and also one last thing, the the sort of famous season of 1985. She was there writing, and she'll talk about
at SNL.
Robert Downey Jr. at like 19 years of age, skating down the hall and stuff like that. So it's really fun. She's super likable. I've known her for longer than I want to remember. I'm now doing
18 years.
Please enjoy the one and only Carol Leifer.
You mean the set that I did for The Tonight Show?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a bit of a saga because, Letterman saw me on the big New York Laugh Off.
The Laugh Off.
Yeah. Because, in our day, that's how you got people to pay attention to you. You did contests. And he saw the big Laugh Off. That's the one where Eddie Murphy came in 5th and I came in 4th. Yes. So he had seen me on the big Laugh Off and he recommended me to Jim McCawley, as you know, the talent booker for The Tonight Show.
Mm-hmm.
And then they passed. And then probably when I saw you, Dana, they saw me again and they passed. And I auditioned 22 times until I finally got The Tonight Show in 1992, right before Johnny left.
Never even heard of that. That's that many times I've never heard of that.
Over a decade? Or what's the time frame of the 22 auditions?
I would say from 1980 to 92. But what was happening also was, it is that, I was doing Letterman a lot during those years. So Tonight Show also saw me as a Letterman act. So that stood in my way. But it just became like, I don't know, should I wear a dress the next time? Okay. Like it just became a bit of like, okay, I guess I'll go out there again.
And it's always McCawley?
It was always McCawley, yeah. I mean, you remember how powerful he
of course.
Great and powerful Oz.
I didn't even try. They just like, you don't got it. Don't even audition. Just, Well, I was doing characters and stuff and they like jokes. I was just going to ask you from a personal point of view, what kind of stand-up in your head were you in 92 compared to 1980?
Well, I was much more, you have 12 years of experience, as you know. I mean, you get better every year. And at that time in New York, I mean, you guys didn't come up in the New York scene, but you could do 8 sets on a Saturday night.
Well,
I don't do that in a year.
It sounds preposterous, but it's true.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Yeah.
With all the different comedy clubs. I mean, you'd have, a 7:10 here and 8:15 here. It just went on and on and on. So I just was a better comedian. But wait a minute. So Dana, you never did The Tonight Show with Johnny?
I did, but I came out as a guest from Saturday Night Live. I never came out behind the curtain and did that terrifying thing. What I want to ask you 2 things about those days.
Yes.
Did you ever say, and step on it to the cab driver in New York? And did you ever get so good that like Leifer's here? Like you, because I think confidence, Eddie Murphy had peak confidence at 19. He has it now. There are certain people, Sandler, took me a long time. But when you get the confidence, it's fun. Do you ever walk in and go, I'm the shit, man. Fuck you people.
I've heard her say that.
Okay, 2 questions. Step on it. I'm about to have a baby. Okay, go ahead.
Step on it was definitely something. And I learned in many different languages to communicate with all of the cab drivers. But I think by 92, I remember it was just, I had done the New Year's show with Leno before. And I just feel like they kind of felt like, oh, we got to put her on. I mean, this is ridiculous already.
It's such an omission at this point. It looks weird.
And who were your peers? It was Elaine Boozler.
Yeah.
Who were
your female peers?
At
the time?
Elaine Boozler was actually not my female peer. She was before me.
Yeah.
And I got into stand-up because one of the big reasons was because of Elaine. You know, I'm sure people have talked about on your pod that
not really enough.
Not that much.
No.
Yeah.
She was the top, the female stand-up that when I was in those early days, she was it.
She was on the cover of New York Magazine and, funny girl. And it just kind of changed. I was like, oh, if this, woman can do it, like maybe I can do it. I remember Seinfeld and I talking about that cover. It had an impact on him in wanting to go into stand-up because it was a new type of woman and person going into stand-up.
Yeah, the 70s is when it all kind of shifted in what was allowed. And then lately, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but we have a lot of our great women comedians, or call them comedians.
It's all about the same now, but it was more differentiated.
Yeah. And there's a liberation of really being as hardcore as the men. It's just been a shift where the audience, the women are more, they can be sexual, they can step outside the lines. But you were kind of riding that wave, and you had Phyllis Diller. But not Phyllis Diller. She's a little more back there. Joan Rivers was quite a, she was sort of body and intense.
Yes. And Joan Rivers was great, but I think what differentiated her from my generation was, it was a very am I right, ladies?
Can we talk, right?
Yeah, can we talk? Elizabeth Taylor dog.
She said 5 facelifts and a boob job. Please, can we talk? Can we talk? Barbara Bush is not sexy. Can we talk?
Barbara Bush. Was Rosie O'Donnell around then, or was that a little later?
Rosie O'Donnell came a little after me, but my peers were like Rita Rudner and Paul Stone.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember with Rita, because we went on a Catch a Rising Star together, in those days, they wouldn't put two women on after each other. It was
horrifying.
Okay, there's the singer, then the ventriloquist, then a woman, then we'll have the monkey act, and then another woman. It was just.
How are two women on the same show? That's revolting to the audience.
It was revolutionary.
I worked with Rita. She was a linesmith. She could write great jokes. It was just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. She is one of the all-time best joke writers for sure.
Really good joke writer.
Yeah.
Maybe underrated because I don't hear about her enough, because I worked with her for a week and I was new and I just kept going, wow, this is, really, I was like, it is just bam, 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 bam. Interesting delivery, interesting persona.
Yeah. Yeah, she works a lot. She gets a lot of the corporate gigs that I want to get. We got Rita.
Oh, good.
Sorry, we got Rita.
Vegas.
All right, let's put that out into the universe.
Corporates are fun.
Yes.
Juicy corporate. She's clean. She's funny. She's likable, and she'll go for pictures afterwards without any complaint.
CEO's kid, even if it's not part of the deal, can we take a quick picture? Yes.
You're kind of like this lane, because you're still here and you started there and you're getting more famous than your resume. I only found out this week, and I want to talk about it because there's a whole documentary briefly just about your work as a writer while you were being a stand-up. And I don't know what your one was before the 85 season on Saturday Night Live, which did you? Okay, so let's just talk about that a little bit, how you got the job, and have you seen the documentary about it?
I have seen the documentary.
Okay.
What is unaffectionately called the weird year of SNL.
Yeah.
85, when Lauren came back. And I remember I auditioned at the comic strip to be a performer, and Al Franken, the great Al Franken, and
sorry,
and Jim Downey, as you know, famous head writer, came for a showcase, and I did well. And they came over to me afterwards, and they were like, "Would you want to think about being a writer?" And I was like, "What I want to be? Yeah." So I lived in California, and they said, "Well, come in and have a meeting with Lauren." So I came into New York, so I'm ready for I had it all planned, an hour of what I could say to, prospective questions, blah, blah, blah. And it was literally Lauren was auditioning talent in that big kind of like studio room in Broadway. I don't know where they held the auditions. It always looked like where they would audition dancers for like a chorus line, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, and, but, and I came and they said, okay, well, Lauren's going to meet with you now. He came outside the door of the audition room and he said, they've said very good things about you. I said, oh, thank you. And, the job, I don't do a good Lauren impression, so somebody could do this for me, but
yeah, go ahead. Let's guess what he said. The job is not easy, but you'll find it's exciting. It's that thing of like, you're going to find your voice this year and then you'll go on to like much bigger things. We like you. Go ahead. Something like that.
How do you like New York?
Well, it was almost exactly like that. Just say, you have been told that Tuesday nights are late and you work very late. And I went, yeah. No, okay. So it lasted about a minute.
Minute long meeting.
And then I was hired. Yeah, it was I love that documentary about the year because it was crazy and it was nutty. But I still, I always like to tell young people, we wrote longhand on yellow pads. And then you'd give it
me too. Yeah. I say that all the time.
Yeah. So that was it. And then I was really the only woman writer that year. But, it was amazing, like Murderer's Row of writers. Like Smigel was an apprentice.
Whoa.
Yeah, I always teased him. An apprentice means you need to wear goggles in the writer's room. John Swartzwelder and Jack Handy and George
Meyer
and Don Novello. And it was just amazing. But I had a lot of stuff on. I have to say, I look back and it was like, I wrote a lot with Franken. We did this sketch. Quirky. Yeah, this Tom Hanks sketch, a lot of people don't know, as you guys know, you can write a sketch and have it at read through. And if they pass on it, you can bring it back a few more times. Not and
it's a little stinky, but you bring it back.
Yeah. And then Tom Hanks finally, put it over the finish line.
Who was your cast? I can't remember.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit for people who don't know. But this pivotal year was the first year that Lauren came back after leaving with the seminal cast of all time in 1980. His first year back. So a lot of pressure. Lauren is back. We've had the Billy Crystal, Martin Short, Christopher Guest year. We had the Eddie years with Joe Piscopo. And now Lorne Michaels is back. So who was on that show? Cast.
Well, it was Dennis Miller, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the shout out, Leifer. Okay. Good.
Right. It was Nora Dunn, Joan Cusack, Denitra Vance. Then the guys.
Was it Terry Sweeney?
It was Terry Sweeney. It was Randy Quaid.
Anthony Michael Hall,
Robert Downey Jr., who I just saw at the Oscars.
Did he remember? I mean, but surely he did, right?
Oh, yeah.
He goes, hey, Carol. What, all right.
It's like, I remember you skateboarding down the halls of the 17th floor. It was, they talk about in the documentary, Lauren hired actors more than comedians. And it's that sort of, and Lovitz was a cast member and he did really well that year. I think he and Dennis and Nora were the only people that were brought back after that.
Survived the fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do people know this? At the end of the season, some sketch, I was watching it live, and then all the cast had to go into a fire, except 3 of them didn't have to go into the fire. I mean, it was who wrote that? Al? Were you and Al?
I wish I remembered who wrote that. Yeah, it was. And then do you remember when Madonna came back the next year to host? Mm-hmm. She apologized for the entire 85, 86 season.
Or
like a Dallas kind of thing?
My first
like
time
a dream?
in the studio. She was our cold open.
Oh, that's
right.
And
you were there, Dana.
That was your year.
Yeah.
Was your audition in one of those chorus line rehearsal rooms like I saw them?
No, I just real quickly, I had auditioned at the Comedy Store in like 20 people with no MC in the original room. And I followed Kennison at midnight. Before I went on, they said, SNL is here. I don't think it was Lauren, but SNL is here.
Oh, nice.
I bombed so bad. And Al Franken saw me at the Punchline. I just bombed and bombed. And then show came around again real fast. I just went to Igby's. You remember that little 100-seater?
Yes.
Rosie O'Donnell was headlining. I got a hold of Jan Smith. I said, Lorne Michaels will come see me because we had the same, my manager was managing him. I was with Bernie Burlstein and Brad Gray.
Yeah.
So then I met Rosie, who seemed like just like so confident in New York and everything. I can't believe how young we both were, but I got to do 40 minutes. Lauren came, brought Brandon Tartikoff, and then Cher. And I got 40 minutes in front of a regular audience instead of 5 following Kennison. And that's kind of how I got the show.
Wow.
Did Cher do 5? How was her set?
Cher came out and she had like a sequin dress on. And she goes, half funny.
Half funny?
Instead of half breed? I don't know.
I like it. Yeah. Do you believe I'm 74?
She's just kind of reaching with the leafer pod. I don't know what's
she
going
gets it.
on.
When did you audition, Spade? When was yours?
Thank you. I'll take this question, Dana.
Yes,
I'm going to stay quiet because this is riveting.
Funny story. I was born in... No, I'm kidding. Going too far back. I went with Schneider. It's funny because you were mentioning New York clubs. I've never played them, and they had us audition off a young comedian special. They brought us in to audition at probably Catch a Rising Star, if that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And on a tough night, and they all came in from Downey to maybe Smigel to maybe Franken to not Lauren. I don't think Lauren is there. But I remember it was me, Schneider, Tom Kenny. I always say this like it's negative to Tom Kenny. It's not negative to Tom Kenny. He was a San Francisco act that was very just broader.
I knew him well, SpongeBob. Then he became SpongeBob, and he owns most of Nevada.
Yeah.
But anyway.
He's so rich. But Dennis Miller was there too, and he was helping. And, before I went on, I told Dana, he goes, Spud, you don't want to kill too hard. They don't want some polished fucking road hack. And I go, so don't do good? He's like, all right, 3, 2, 1. I'm like, wait, Dennis, what? So anyway, I took his advice, did not do well. His advice was the right thing. It just, in the whole complexities of it all, I didn't really get it. They were just really looking at the writing of the jokes for me to be a writer, maybe a performer later. I thought it was to be a performer. So I'm like, I give him the whole John Bonet routine, really amping it up. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, I got off early because I said, I think I was supposed to do 20. I did 12, maybe. I think Schneider went off early. But Tom Kenny did do very well. But Rob and I got the call to come in and write and perform.
Oh, wow. But you thought that night you hadn't done well, right?
I just knew it was a tough night, but it was pretty sparse, and it was probably it's probably 15 from SNL and 15 people. So regular people. So they don't laugh a lot, but they're just looking at sort of, it's the same way I am now. I can watch a comic and even if not killing, I almost don't hear it. I just go, ooh, that was a good one. Ooh, like I like it. Who cares if they like it? I was like, I think that's good and well written or something about it. You can tell, like, name that tune in 2 jokes. You go, I think this guy's got some game.
Yes.
And so you know how it is. So at a certain point, that, but at that point I didn't. But luckily some of the jokes, they kind of liked how I put them together. And that really got me in as a writer that was not ready to be a writer with my legal pad.
Would you have liked to have been a cast member, Carol? Did you ever think of that or audition for?
I think Well, the weird year, it was like, I don't know that I want to be a part of.
Well, what do you
Just
say?
throw yourself in the fire at the end.
But, I feel like that year I had one foot in and one foot out because I really wanted to concentrate on my stand-up. So, yeah, I don't think I just on the weekend, weeks off, I'd be doing sets and all that. So, yeah, no, certainly, maybe if I had been on a more successful year, I would have dreamt about it. But
do you ever feel weird about taking a stand-up bit and putting it into a sketch? You feel like you're kind of wasting it and it's a selfish decision to go, do I try to get this on there and then I can never use it again, but it would help here?
Yeah, I didn't really have that fear because, as you boys know, you got to get stuff on, or it's a very bad feeling there.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting things on.
To say the
And
least.
people start ignoring you, and it's like, oh no, they go, you're not even a formidable opponent here. You're just, you want to get on. So it's, of course, goes into the show if it can.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I always felt like if I had to take for my act, dig away. Because if it keeps you alive at the show.
100%.
Yeah.
That's so crazy, but people don't think of that. But it is a weird thing goes through your head. You're like, because you're running out of ideas quickly.
Yeah.
Every host looks the same, and you're like, wait, I got this guy. And the next week it's Corbin Burnson, and then it's I think I had
Corbin
Candace
Burnson was
Bergen.
there when I did it.
Yeah, he was. I think he was an overlapping
Great
one.
guy. I think he was the third host. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And funny.
And I just, sorry, I'm show dropping the Oscars a couple of times.
Please do.
John Lithgow was presenting this year, and I saw him, the writers hanging out in the green room, and I saw him and I said, you guest hosted the year that I wrote on SNL. And he was like, oh, he was very sweet. He was like, oh, you must have been a young child when you worked there. I said, yes, of course, child labor. But no, I told him that, he was such a great host. He learned every writer's name that week. And he was incredible. And he remembered the sketch that we had written for him.
That got on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he was amazing and still is.
Did you ever? So what other? Can you tell us about the Oscars? You were at the Oscars.
I
wrote on them.
Yeah, I wrote on the Oscars.
And you wrote. So Conan's team brought you in, or whatever. Or
how does it work? Yeah.
Team, and then this is my 11th time. I was part.
Is there writers that come with the show?
You wrote a lot for the Oscars over the years. Yeah.
Are you baked in, and then Conan can bring some extra people? Is that how it works?
No, Conan has his own team of people. And then there's a show team that I'm part of.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know this guy, John Max. He's a head writer of many, many great. He's the guy to go to for your award shows. And and then
Is Valanche in there?
No Bruce Valanche, but yeah, it's a good group and it's fun. You guys know it's fun writing.
Of course.
Jokes.
Well, who's the greatest host that you've written for? Part of the one. Did you write for Billy?
Yes, I wrote for Billy a couple times. Billy's great. I'm going to say on this podcast, they've all been great.
No.
I loved Billy's Broadway songs about the current movies.
I do like that
Nora, she's annoying, Nora, I'm a wicked man. It's so, but Billy was just great host. Yeah.
I don't know if he was the first one to go into the movies and be like, they'd use the actors of the real movie. He'd be inside of them.
Yeah, he was in an airplane.
That was funny as shit. Yeah.
I love those. Yeah. Well, Troy Miller used to direct.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I loved Conan's Substance parody. How funny was that?
That was because for people who haven't seen the movie, he crawled out of in the movie. Demi Moore sort of becomes a walking corpse or like a monster. Anyway, he climbed out of her backside. I mean, to start the 119th Oscar show, his head is, I mean, it was definitely catching. It was like, okay, we got something different here. Yeah.
But even I loved his musical number was a lot like, it reminded me of the Great Billy stuff too, like that.
I thought he did great.
I thought for Conan, it was a little edgier than normal for him to say, like, it's halftime. Usually Kendrick would be calling Drake a pedophile. I'm like, a pedophile joke is kind of a lot for the Oscars and Conan. I was fine with it, but I thought, oh, good. At least he's out of the box a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, look, funny is funny, but yeah, I agree that,
I'm saying, I'm just surprised. Sometimes they tamp down a few things at different shows. You know, they go, I don't know if that's what we do here, that kind of thing. But at least they're saying, hey, it's getting harder and harder to get people watched. Let's just go crazy. Some of these things pay off these days. Like, get out there and shake it up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. It's fun to have more free reign. It's hard to get jokes killed. It's like, come on.
So just so that people are familiar, so you wrote 12 times for the Oscars. You wrote for Seinfeld. I mean, can we talk about that a little? Has Jerry changed? Has Jerry changed? we know him pretty well. We had him on the podcast.
Yes, I heard it. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jerry, he is a great guy. He made all my dreams come true a couple of weeks ago because I was in New York. And as you can see, I'm a big Beatles fan. I have.
Don't get me started.
Did you go to the Bowery or something?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. How great.
Yeah. And not only did I go with him to see McCartney at the Bowery Ballroom, but afterwards there was a little after party and he introduced me to him.
Ooh, that's as good as it gets.
Yeah. And he said my name. He said, hello, Carol. And he kissed me on the cheek.
Whoa.
He kissed you on the cheek?
Kissed me on the cheek. Yeah.
He doesn't do that too often.
That's pretty huge.
I know. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I know. So
you seem like a really nice lady, you know. So I gave her a pecker on the cheekies, you know, just to kind of cheer up the whole room, you know. Then David Spade came over. You know, I just gave him a fist
killed
bump.
it.
Not as impressive as Carol.
Well, you guys, I have to say, would you say that, so as far as musical living legends, I'd say McCartney, there's Mick Jagger, there's a couple, but those two definitely could be the top two, or I'm sure I'm spacing on some people, but Ringo, I mean, if you're in the Beatles, you're up there, of course.
Yes.
And Mick is just a worldwide phenomenon of, legend. So who else is up there? Like, it's still, because when you see Paul, you just get like shook a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you about your introduction to the Beatles and your lifelong love affair, because we're in the same age group, and then to meet him later on. But to me, I'm sorry, there's just the Beatles, and then there's incredible bands, Zeppelin, Stones, Pink Floyd, and then, go on and on, Eminem, and but there's just one Beatles because there's just too much music and too much revolutionary things going on. So were you a classic I Want to Hold Your Hand in 64, or when did I see you? Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I was lucky that
Yes. The whole ride.
As a little girl.
As a little fetus.
Yeah.
I was introduced. No. I have an older sister who's 5 years older and a brother who's 11 years older. So I heard their music a lot as a kid and remember the Ed Sullivan Show, them coming on, going crazy, what a happening it was. It's hard to explain to people how revolutionary their haircuts were. I mean, that it was like, what are these?
Just the haircuts alone shot them up the chart.
Haircuts alone. But then I was lucky enough in 66, 1966.
Yeah.
My brother was home from University of Chicago, and the night of the Beatles concert, he said, because we lived on Long Island, hey, Squirt, you want to go see the Beatles? And I was like, yeah. And we drove to Shea. We got tickets that night, my sister, who had gotten tickets 6 months before, she was like 4 rows in front of us. It's like, how did this happen? And saw the Beatles at Shea Stadium.
At Shea Stadium. That's a legendary.
Big thing for a band, rock and roll band, to play a giant.
They have 2 PV amps.
Right.
Dana, wasn't it some shitty sound or whatever?
I think they only did 30, 35 minutes. They couldn't hear themselves. The roar of the crowd, they just couldn't,
Oh, yeah.
But
just not. Love it, though. How great. Oh, my God. What a part of history.
If you had a not famous Beatles song, like what is one of your favorites? I'll throw out some. She's Leaving Home, and I Love Her. No Reply.
And I love her.
Hard Day's Night. I Want to Hold Your Hand, which I think that She Loves You is a masterpiece. It's like 2 minutes and 5 seconds. But are you kind of a Strawberry Fields or are you Penny Lane? Yeah, 5 seconds.
I kind of am very wedded to their early stuff because it reminds me of the Mania and of first seeing them and all that. So like I saw her standing there, that early stuff, but I'm also a Wings fan,
Yeah, me too.
So, and I just worked with Lawrence Juber, who was like his guitar player in Wings. So I run the gamut, with McCartney.
Did you tell McCartney you saw him at the Shea Stadium?
What'd you say?
Did you tell him you saw him?
No, I was too.
He would have probably freaked out. That he doesn't hear that every day.
Yeah, but he was talking about, they didn't. People couldn't have their phones that night at the Bowery Ball.
At Shea Stadium?
Oh, Bowery Ball. No.
I brought my landline.
2025 is calling, Spudley, okay?
I know.
But it was great because and to watch the show, because we were up in this little, it maybe has like 300 people in the whole place. But to watch a concert now with people not having their phones, it was such a joy because it's like, oh, right, people actually experience it and not wanting it for later.
Right. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Were you sitting or was it standing room only? Or was it sitting? You get to sit.
The VIPs like Jerry and his +1 were up on a balcony, on top. So we were standing, but you wanted to stand. Everybody was standing. There was no.
Well, you stand every song anyway because it's a hit, so you stand up anyway.
Yeah.
Every song's a hit, basically. Can I do a clumsy kind of forward thing? Because during the peak of the Seinfeld years, and how many seasons did you write on that show? 3. Yeah. I think they were in the Rolling Stone, almost like. They were got so big. There's only the Beatles, but they were almost like a Beatles sitcom.
Yes.
And I'm always interested in the dynamic between Jerry and Larry, because this partnership. And so how did you get hired for that? They just already knew you, loved you. They knew you from Letterman and you were was that an easy kind of?
Well, we really go so far back as to when I auditioned at the comic strip along with Paul Reiser and Rich Hall.
Paul Reiser.
Wow.
Yeah. Jerry was the MC and he put us through the audition. And then when I auditioned to Catch a Rising Star, Larry David was the MC and he put me through that audition. So I really go back to my first days at these clubs with them. But what happened with Larry and Jerry was weird because I remember I got a call from both of them and it was like, why are my friends calling me together? I mean, in 93, that was probably like, a conference call, like they had to, be on the same phone, but it's like, why are they calling me? And they were like, hey, do you want to write on Seinfeld? It's like, yeah. But my advantage was, and I think other writers' advantage was, they didn't want people who'd written for sitcoms before. Because Larry hated all other sitcoms. So they wanted people new to the task. So I was lucky that way. So that's how I got hired.
It was such a, interesting sensibility on that show, how it was kind of just about little things, and everyone knows the soup Nazi and the puffy shirt. And it's like trying to catch the wind. It's even now with Curb Your Enthusiasm these last 15 years. It's like, what is that sensibility about? But it really pops. The cast was super likable. But there's something about the writing that is so smart and subtle and well observed. So that's just that's the best writer's room on a sitcom in history. I think I'm not shitting on Cheers or anybody else, but I think it's gotta be.
Well, as far as it worked, it just worked through the roof. And
our greatest half hour
I think
sitcom.
Cheers was more considered just a great sitcom, and Seinfeld was a little off kilter, not just a sitcom. It was like sort of a different thing going on there.
What is the thing about Seinfeld? What do you think made it go so huge?
In a lot of ways, it was like SNL to me, because you had to pitch your ideas to Larry and Jerry. You would go in and set a time to go in, and it was like 2 sentences kind of max, like I went in, Elaine thinks the Korean manicurists are talking about her behind her back at the nail salon, and that kind of thing. I would go, yeah, we're doing that. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. And then you'd pitch other ones, and he had this habit of like rolling his shoulder and going, no. I could see that on another show now,
Does he say expand in the room? Like some ideas are a little more than that. Like he'll go, I like it so far. What else is on there? Or just go write it.
Yeah, he would be like, if he liked something like that, or like Elaine thinks there are skinny mirrors at Barney's. He would go, yeah, I love that. But, come back with like a George, a Jerry, and Kramer story, that kind of
right.
thing. But it was the same thing. Like if you pitched ideas and it was a lot of, no, I don't know, you sort of started to get anxious about it. But when he liked something, he was so effusive about it. It lifted you to go off and do it.
Right. Exciting.
I do think, and let's go back to the Beatles here.
I'd love to.
What made the show great was the two of their sensibilities together. I always call it kind of like Lennon and McCartney, Jerry, the more kind of pop sensibility, friendly stand-up. Right. And
McCartney.
Larry being more the Lennon, the curmudgeon, having the edge, and that together it made it lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
That's interesting. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
And even working on Curb, I know Larry so well from Seinfeld that it was the same thing at Curb. You'd go in and pitch ideas, and he would love them or not like them. But when he loved something, he always, like, I remember the first time I pitched him Curb ideas, I said, when you are with regular people, and by regular people, I mean not comedians, and you make a joke and one of them goes, but-um-bum, that's how you want to strangle them. The equivalent of saying the N-word,
Yeah.
And he was like, he loved that, so when he loves something and you're on a good roll, you can.
Yeah, for sure. How fun.
Yeah.
You wrote on so many, though. I've been looking at, you did Modern Family, also Hacks, right?
Yes, Hacks just won an Emmy.
Hacks is a big deal, of course.
Yeah.
I think I saw Hannah at that party the other night. I don't know her, but I think I saw her walk by. Is she possibly taller than I would think? She seemed like, I thought she was tiny.
And isn't it amazing that she's Lorraine Newman's daughter?
Yeah.
I did not, I didn't even put that together for so long.
Yeah. And sometimes when she delivers lines, it's like, I totally.
Oh, yeah. Love Lorraine. I saw Lorraine at the thing.
Oh, yeah.
50th, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dana, were you there?
No, I had the flu.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so I missed it, but I've already thought about just what I'm going to do on the 60th.
Yeah.
That's going to be great.
I thought about the 100th, what I'm going to do.
Keep it a little quiet.
Keep it real on the...
Don't start getting curious, Leaf.
When people say "ba-dump bump," I literally, it's like cutting your balls off. It's such a weird move to say this is a bad joke, you're stupid, and then they look cool or something.
Yeah.
It's all weird vibe.
And he loves all that small stuff. Like he loved, I had a pitch about, when you pitch something to TV people, execs, and they go, I don't love it. I don't like it. It's like, nah, I don't love it. And, that's the kind of thing he sparks to, like, immediately.
I felt like a story. When that's in the ether, now when I'm out and there's a situation, I almost think of Curb. I was out somewhere, and it might even be an episode, but I said bye to everyone. It took me forever to get out to the front and say bye. And then I forgot my keys inside, and I go, I'm not going back in. I cannot go through there again. And just that awkwardness of like, I just left, but they think I'm coming in I ditched them or something. And so it just made me think that's one of those weird things that makes you think of that show. You go, I could picture him in some awkward situation.
Yes.
But every episode I watch, I think, oh, this is such a good little weird curveball, like just everyday thing, but they make a whole meal out of it.
Yeah, when you see stuff like that, like the puffy corduroy pants, looks like he's excited. Okay, we'll build a whole episode around that. And you go, it's so simple. It's so funny. Everybody knows what he's talking about. But
that story, he would have totally made something about that. Totally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you talked about the SNL 50th, like ad nauseum, Spade, or?
Well, not really. I mean, it's funner with people that have been there because we talked a little bit about it, but what is your experience of it? You can say anything you want.
Oh, well, I wanted to know, I was only there for the concert, so I didn't see.
What did you think of the concert?
Concert was amazing.
Yeah.
Even with my shitty seats, it was amazing.
I think everyone I talked to had shittier seats than they thought they were going to have.
Yeah. I was like, maybe I'd have a better view at home.
I said, Lovitz, were you at the American Girl store for that too? He goes, no, I was at Banana Republic. That was very close to Radio City.
Jealous.
Yeah, no, the 50th was a blast to just goof around, but the weekly events of that was that night, what you went to, which was, I think, more fun than people thought, and then the next night there was like a little toast thing, and then the next night was the show. So I did get a lot of it. That's why I wasn't at the party forever the night of the show, because I think it was a Sunday, and also I just done everything with everybody all week, and I thought there's a 3-story party. I don't think I could do it that long.
Yeah.
Did you go to that thing, or did you skip it all?
Well, the next night, the Saturday night, was the Writers Guild Awards.
Okay.
And we won for Hacks.
Oh.
Hacks never, because don't they win kind of everything? I mean, they win a lot
of stuff.
Well, I'll say this past season we sure did.
Yeah.
Where's your hardware? You got hardware back there somewhere? I mean,
yeah, you should throw it right up there in that cabinet.
I do have an Emmy, but it's in the other room. But I
think it needs to be on camera. Also, is it interesting? From SNL, you go to Seinfeld, and you're like, everywhere feels like it just couldn't be as good. Then you get on a show like Hacks, it's a great show, and you go, okay, that feels good. Modern Family's a great show.
Yeah, no, it's
a good streak.
Yeah. So when shows are really good,
what's the common denominator?
There's one common denominator, but I'm not. Let me just think.
I wonder what it is. What would it be?
Start at Carol King. No. But anyway, I mean, you must be proud of. I mean, it is pretty cool how many great shows you've worked on. So clearly, you're a valuable commodity, and I would like to negotiate whatever your next deal is. Personally, I'm not going to push.
You guys know as well as I do, to be in a room with other funny people it's just the greatest. I mean, as much as I love stand-up, and I saw you recently, Spade, at
That's right.
There's nothing better to me than being in a room with funny people. It's just the greatest thing. It's like, I always think it's like, you go to a foreign country and say you're there for like a month, like Italy, and, everybody's speaking Italian and nobody speaks English. And then like an American comes in and you're like, oh my God, and you just bond with the person. To me, that's like with any comedian, there's always this kind of just instant bond. And yeah.
I'm always happy if I'm at some event, then I see a comedian or a comedian I know, and that we're just going to look at it all differently and try to
just clown on everything going on. That was the same thing. I went to some Oscar thing the other night and zip right to the comedians and then just sort of make fun of the whole situation.
Exactly.
It's the only comfortable spot.
But that's why I like sketch, just because I was a stand-up and then I had never done sketch comedy. So then it was like, oh, you say that, I say this, we're working together. And then, of course, you get funnier if you're in a writer's room and people are starting to riff. Your brain gets kind of associative into this, everything's funny. Or how about this thing? Oh, how about this? So I think I totally relate to that. If someone wanted to see, I said, Carol Leifer's a great stand-up. What would you want them to look at?
I would say probably
some of your 25 Lettermans or special
box set.
You know what? I really have a great affection for my first Letterman, which was in 1982.
Ooh.
Just because, your first time, like, oh my God, I'm on TV and people are seeing this and what I dreamed about. To me, that's like my most precious kind of memory, because it was the first.
Yeah.
You
never
it
was Fernwood Tonight. And when I came out and saw, that was, does anyone remember Fernwood Tonight?
I
Martin
do.
Mull and
funny it is.
Yeah, kind of a parody of a talk show.
Yeah.
Did you ever work with Wendy Liebman?
This is like the perfect setup. I'm working with Wendy Liebman on March 20th at Comedy and Magic Club.
Oh, Comedy Magic, how great.
Yes, also with the great Kathy Ladman. So 3 funny ladies all together.
Yeah.
I see Wendy. Are you
She's great.
Publicizing it as 3 funny ladies or no? Or just as a comedy show?
I think they're calling it the Ladies of Laughter.
Oh, the ladies of the night.
Dave and I go out as the pipsqueaks of funniness.
The pipsqueaks twinsies.
2 little pixies with a dream.
We just did a corporate together. It was pretty fun. We never done one. It was pretty fun.
Right? Yeah. How much time did you have to do?
Well,
Dana kind of tinkered with that.
This is inside baseball, but we kind of like, as a stand-up, well, I love being out there with a friend just riffing. So I said to the guy who's in charge, I said, because they wanted 45 each, and it's hours in a ballroom, all that. And I said, how about we do 30 each or 25 to 30, and then we come out together and just sort of talk to the audience and they yell stuff out. And he goes, you would do that? Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm not going to try to redo the deal. But we will come out without a script or our act, and they're yelling out Garth or Tommy Boy, and we have shtick.
It's a little chaotic, but because we threw it at them late, if we could have had a microphone up there or something. But it's just fun because they also want to see a picture of us together or so, whatever. We're out together, and it made it more fun for us too.
That must have been a great gig.
Yeah, it was super fun. They'd never had comedy, and they were like, "Oh, this is great." So,
the sound was good. It's really important. The sound
is great. That is important. You don't hear muffled jokes.
I don't go to sound checks, but Jay Farrell played the night before some casino in West Virginia. I go, you need a sound check. How was the sound for Jay Farrell? Oh, it was great. He loved it. So then I go out. First thing I hear is a huge slap back. Hello. I can't stop the show and do a sound check, so it's difficult.
You think they do a show every night. You think, I think they know what they're doing, and then you go, oh, they don't. It's like
Can I tell you a great story about Joan Rivers with that kind of stuff?
Yes,
we would love it.
All right. So I had a corporate gig in New York when I was coming up. And they had booked Joan Rivers to just open the show and introduce me and leave. So I get there, before her, obviously. And, you guys, you don't travel with your agent or manager for these kinds of things. So I show up and I see that there's no spotlight. So I say to the guy, the tech guy, yeah, I'm the comedian. I see you have a mic, but you don't have a spotlight. And he looks at me like, oh, sorry, we don't have your spotlight share. Like, I'm some diva. It's like, no, people need to see me in the dark room, and he just like blew me off. It was so brilliant. So then Joan Rivers gets there. She says hello to me and she goes, where's the spotlight? And I go, I know. So, and the tech guy was like hanging his head in shame. She literally went on stage and she was like, she did her bit, cue you doing your Joan Rivers impression. But she goes, listen, I'm going to bring on the next act, but you be very nice to her, all of you, because there's no spotlight and it's very unprofessional. And it was amazing. I mean, I love you, Joan Rivers. May you rest in peace.
We've all had these situations. I was in a club once and I asked them to turn up the mic for the second show because I couldn't, and they just turned it down. I mean, it's like just aggression and anger. Sometimes the club owner is a frustrated stand-up and kind of hates you. It's like, so we turned it down.
You can't get laughs out there. We're like, oh, I don't think they can hear me. Oh, is that why? I'm like, yeah, that is why they can't hear me. People are yelling, I can't hear you.
Did you like the clubs on touring or going on the road, or did you just do it, or were you in condos with other guys and ventriloquists?
The comedy condo was the worst experience of my life ever. I did a gig. It was in Phoenix. It was a comedy condo. I was doing it with my friend Sue Kalinsky. We get there and we go to this disgusting comedy condo. And there's, the other guy there and like,
disgusting.
Here if you want to go, whatever. So about 7:00, Sue and I get ready. We're getting ready to go to the gig. And we yell up to the guy, well, it's, we're an hour away from showtime. If you want to come down now, we're going. And the guy comes down. He's like, oh, I'm not a comic. I just live here.
Oh my God. Never heard of that.
Condo, had just one of their friends living in one of the rooms. I mean, if you don't call 911 then, I really don't know what.
Just
oh my God.
For people just so you go to these cities and instead of putting you in a hotel, they'd have a comedy condo. And there was the main room or the head room. And if the
headliner,
for the best place with its own bathroom. If you come too late, the ventriloquist is in there with Chuck Wood. You can't look at his puppet.
Chuck Wood.
Don't even look at Chuck Wood. Don't even David Strassman, I think. No, I'm kidding. But
openers get the couch sometimes.
They're a unique breed. It's not a joke. That is definitely like that Anthony Hopkins movie. Chuck Wood was real. You must have worked with a lot of.
Before it gets too late, fellas, can I promote my new book?
Yes, let's do it now. We're wrapping up.
Oh my God, we should. We'll put it in the intro too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's how to write a funny speech for a wedding, bar mitzvah, graduation, and every other event you didn't want to go to in the first place.
That's a good title.
So
come on, it's gonna fly the show.
That's a good title. I like it.
So that is literally instructive and also humorous, but actually trying to help people with that process. Okay. Because say the title again.
How to write a funny speech for a wedding, bar mitzvah, graduation, and every other event you didn't want to go to in the first place.
Okay, I like it, and I want to ask you a question. So, has no one written this book? Because I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no one has. I wrote it with my comedy writer friend Rick Mitchell, and no comedy writers have written a book like this. A lot of stiffs, from the corporate headquarters, whatever, have written it, but no,
not funny people.
Right, we're tired of going to events where someone just stinks up the room with their horrible speech, and we felt like we could give them some help.
Well, that's the number one fear, right? It's public speaking, or it's way up there. So
yes, and most comedians' greatest fear is not speaking in front of you.
How sad.
And obviously, I just want to, if people want to get this book, you just go on Amazon. It'll be on that.
Yeah, it's there. Amazon. You can just
click a few buttons. Yeah.
And if you don't remember the title, you can say Carol Leifer book.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Carol Leifer book.
Very easy. Oh, I wanted to ask you, Spade, because when I saw you, I loved your bit about Amber Alerts.
Yeah. I got an Amber Alert, I think, that day. That was new. Got an Amber Alert, Dana, and I just want to know how much investigation I'm supposed to be in charge of. What is my job here? What are my duties? If the kid isn't laying on my dashboard,
that's it.
I feel like the search is over. It's a cold case.
That crushed it the day.
Oh, yeah, I did it the other night. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's new. Thank God, because I got one that day.
You were killing at that point. I just said to the guy, I go, can we get him off now? I mean, I think he's over his
Give
time.
him the light. Yeah.
Can we just, is it okay to give him a light? I mean, I don't want to push, but yeah, because you were killing so hard.
Danny goes, actually, I got a light. I'm going to run the back rope.
You always want to sabotage your friend if you can.
God, there's guys at the Comedy Store. They get the light and it means now start your act. Because I'm like wrapping up. And they're like, what else is going on? I'm like, there's no... What else is going on? You're doing your last bit and getting off, not like
what else is going on?
Let's go into the crowd. Yeah, what else? I'm like, you're done. That should be what else is going on?
What else is going on?
Sounds like that's a good special.
That is the best title.
What else is going on? All right, Carol, thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Congratulations on your career, your book. Nice to see you. You're always, she's one of the most likable people that, in the scene. Mm. I think you have that reputation, but
yeah,
I'm always happy to see you. And you're very kind. I'm just going to say it.
I just love you guys. You're both so incredibly talented, and I enjoy your talent.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all the stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman.
Here, let's do a high five before we... No, you got to go backwards. You got to get over to where my hand is. Fool? What's wrong with your brain?
I'm not good. Oh, my God. I can never do the weather.
Hope we have a good hope we have a good podcast.
Good one. Hey, wow, sweet.
Jeez, I'm sorry I have giant hands. I apologize.
No, mine are bigger. Look. If you ever take a picture of your wiener, really put it right in the camera like that. You like that? And then it looks normal size.
Well, I just want to bet with Heather that you would say wiener
immediately.
Minute. Heather, you owe me.
No, listen, I have bigger fish to fry. I'm going to start off with a story. I
want to hear your story. And you know what? I'm not going to try to sabotage you by interrupting you constantly.
Okay. I'll interrupt yours, though. Okay, ready?
Okay. All right.
Here's what happened.
All right.
I have a roller on the ground like this for like my neck. So I was laying on it in the middle of the day for no reason, just to open up the excruciating pain I'm constantly in, even though people in the comments feel free to poke at me. It's fine. I'm used to it. I'm like Rudy, I take it. So here I am, laying there like this. And then a housekeeper that has been here for years comes in and she said, David, do you wear a sleep mask at night? And I said, no. Why'd you find one? She goes, no, but do you wear pads on your eyes or something when you sleep? And I go, no. Where's she going with this? You will never know. Because she goes,
I know.
Because I saw you on Jimmy Fallon and you look so puffy and your eyes are such big bags. I thought, oh my God, what's going on? What did you say to me? Why would you jump to that from that? Why would I even connect that? And I go, no, I was fine. And then she goes, oh, I just thought, maybe you drank all night. Maybe you stayed up all night, or maybe you haven't gone to bed in weeks. I go, no, I didn't.
You're not exaggerating?
I'm not really exaggerating. And I go, no, I didn't really do anything. I had dinner with Nate and I went to bed. And she goes, oh. And then it's not over. We walk outside because it's kind of dim in my room. And we get in the light hallway and she goes, oh, there they are again. What?
What are they? The bags?
Like it's, like a magic trick. Oh, hey. Like she went like that, pulled them up. I go, yeah, they're always here. And she goes, and then she's like, I'll mind my own business now. But then all day I'm like this.
Well, that literally, we had Larry David on a couple of weeks ago on our sister podcast, and that literally could be a Curb episode. The overfamiliar housekeeper is very personal. Are you going to wear those jeans? We had one who spoke mostly Spanish. I don't know if your housekeeper.
Yeah, she can do both.
In California.
She can't? She can't. Well, quick fix.
I visited you a lot over there, and I'd run into the hallway and stuff, and she'd go, do you put an ice cold compress on underneath your eyes because you don't have anything going on?
No. She says, "Is Dana okay?" And I go, "Why?" She goes, "Just want to know if he's okay because I just took a glance and it's probably not my business." I go, "Oh, it's 100% not." And she goes, "I just wonder because his hair is a little frizzy today."
Well, maybe she's lost her calling. She should be a life coach.
No, sometimes she goes like this. Your shirt is a little wrinkly, but this is what you wore and you picked to wear? And I go, She goes, okay.
Well, I'm kind of disorganized. You may have noticed. And,
well, your house looks like a mess behind you.
Well, yeah, I know this. Well, I'm under house arrest, so this is
honestly,
obviously, I'm wearing an ankle thing. I can't leave this room. I mean, no one would try to. The thing about this, though, some people said, "Oh, it's not good to have a door," but I feel like it's kind of like tension. Like, is something going to come through that door?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Everyone's thinking that in the comments.
But sometimes when I was foolish, I had a little extra shekels in my pocket, and I'd go to the ATM.
Beans in my jeans.
I didn't really. A lot of times, my pants would go into the laundry with lots of 20s and 10s in the pocket,
thousands,
and then they go through the dryer, and then so I'd go down there, and she's incredibly sweet, totally honest. She would line them up on top of the dryer, like all these dollar bills or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
You want to know weirder, Spade? When I was probably 11 or 12, I would get all my money, obviously bored. Dad's gone. What do I do? So I would take the spritzer from the iron, and I'd go on them, and then I would iron them, and I'd spray a little water on them, iron them flat. I like them nice and crispy. And then, if that wasn't weird enough, by the way, should have been an insane asylum. Then I'd go to the top of the stairs and I'd let them go, and they go all the way to the front door. Is that crazy? And Brian would walk in, grab one.
Yeah, I was a busboy, and I'd get paid, maybe $10. So they just came out crinkly, and I'd just throw them in a basket. And everyone thought I had a lot of money, but it was all ones. It was like $60.
Yeah. No,
do you want to hear
true.
about my travel?
Yeah, let's hear about your travel while we got it.
I'll just go through them. Here we go. Going to Chicago with my wife. So we go to the airport because we have our cars. Chicago. What's the real pronunciation?
I think you said Chicago instead of Chicago.
Chicago. Yeah. I call it Chicago.
Okay.
So we get to the airport. We're getting a little late, and we go round and round and round and round and round in the parking garage. She's following me. Long story short. There's no parking unless you park where electric cars could park. Now,
Is this LAX? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
No
parking. You're on your way there. Okay.
We drove there, and then we went into the parking garage next to United, and every single thing was taken except there were some open if you had an electric car. Now, I have a hybrid. My wife has a regular car, just a dirty car, a Volvo. But so we just decided we're going to park, and it said $250 minimum a day. So we thought we'd come back either with them towed or like a $5,000 bill, but they were left. So anyway, that was the first.
Wait, $250
minimum fine a day.
Oh, fine.
If
you hybrid, I would count in my head.
Yeah. So I don't really understand those because you plug them in, they go away for a week and they're still plugged in. I mean, so I didn't really get how they.
It takes that long to charge one.
So that was a little stressful. Now this has never happened before. Okay. We go through the security. I know people have security jokes. I go through, I look back, there's the little cartoon person, and it's got a big red block over my crotch, just a big red square. My wife comes through behind me, same thing, big red square. We have two people in front of us kind of going, they asked me, would you like to go to a private room for a pat down? I said, no, I'm married. So I said, no. And they asked my wife too. We just thought it was funny. I don't want to exaggerate for comic purposes. I think it was a 6 to 7 minute pat down. You had to turn away, put one foot forward and crouch down. Then they're up underneath. There's nothing grabbing, grinding, looking. There were people who kind of thought I was your friend from Fly on the Wall. And there's a little crowd gathering. They're patting. Then they come to the front. Boom, 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 grab, boom, boom. So that was kind of exciting. At the same time, it's happening to my wife. So the both of us are just doing this groping dance. And this shocked me. As I'm leaving, the guy who patted me down lit up a cigarette. I go, dude, it's an airport.
Did you know what you should have said? Can I just pat down my wife? And we'll let you know what happens. Because what was the big square in your crotch? What do you think?
What do you think? We were hiding a gun in our pants or an explosive device? I mean, we don't look like that. I mean, I did say it to him at the end, because I get a little passive aggressive sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
I said, because I felt there was one grope that was for him.
One too many.
There was one squeeze.
One for the team.
Yeah, one for him. It was a little. Yeah. So I said, are you happy? I said, I wasn't Lee. I go, are you happy?
You gave him that one.
And he goes, he kind of nodded. And then I high-fived his blue glove. Yeah. And then I smelled it.
He goes, sometimes the house wins.
I didn't do that.
They got to grab your balls. Yeah, I haven't. Remember I told you, Dana, they go like this. Back. I'm going to go to your crotchal area.
Yeah, the back of the hand.
You want the back of the hand? I go, let's go front.
Oh, you just give him everything.
Yeah, I go, let's have some fun. Come on.
Okay. So this part is not an exaggeration either. So we fly to Chicago. We're coming in.
Chicago now.
St. Louis had a tornado and blew up a dust storm. So as we're flying in, we made all the news. We see it in the distance from the plane. It's 100 miles wide and 20 miles tall of dust. It envelops Chicago. There's tornadoes and thunderstorms and 16-mile-an-hour gusts. So the guy's like, we're going to have you ground in a minute. We've got a dust storm, tornadoes, thunderstorms, winds out of the southwest that's gusting to 70 miles an hour. We have the ground in just a minute. So when we were coming into Chicago, we couldn't even see it. It was so covered with dirt, and it was
weird.
It was a little light chop. You wouldn't have liked it.
A little dirty air, literally.
Air.
I will add in this part of your story. Dana does not love flying, and you add in all this chaos. What was Paula doing?
Paula is the opposite of me. She is so relaxed. Like, because on the way back to LAX, we're coming in, the gear's down. All of a sudden, the gear comes up. We're like 40 seconds from landing, and the guy does a steep left bank.
Wait, he does? He gives up on it?
Yeah. He goes, I go, oh, we just screwed the pooch. We got to go around. Then he comes on and goes, there was a plane that was on the runway, so we're going to go around. Probably take us about 15 minutes to get back in line. We'll get back to you.
To do a U-turn? Jesus.
Well, there's planes, and so then 2 minutes later, he takes a steep dive with the gear coming down. Clearly, the tower said, if you do this, you can go in. And then we made a really hard landing. I had someone on the aisle behind me who said it was their first flight.
Oh, I'd shit a brick.
She goes, I don't like this. I've gotten much better than I've been because I've been flying so much. I'm kind of like, fuck it. But my wife's more like, hey, and I use this too. In World War II, they were flying and getting shot at. I mean, what are we? We're such babies. Anyway.
I mean, we are babies because it's definitely, they pretty much all land. It's very upsetting and it scares you and tightens up your stomach. And you land a little rocked, a little dizzy,
Well, it's like I always say, if you surf the web for an hour, go on Daily Mail or whatever, you're hypnotized into darkness. So when you're reading all the time, your brain feels like planes are crashing about every 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it's boom. So that's where the fear comes up.
Well, that Newark airport thing doesn't really help relax you.
I probably avoid it till they get it figured out. Call me crazy.
Dana, I'm a little bit of a spendy Susie. If you know what I mean.
A boozy Susie and a spendy Susie.
Yeah, I'm more of a boozy Susie, but yeah,
you are a spendy spender. Yeah,
and a lot of our listeners are nice enough to write in and say, you look like you drank a lot and slept on your face. But that's just constructive criticism.
Well, it's very concise, and you don't really drink very much. I'll tell the fans, but
just puffy. This is where Klarna comes in. Klarna is your everyday smarter spending partner, which is what a lot of people need. A lot of my friends definitely need it. It allows you to make smarter decisions with your money. And it's sometimes good to have a partner like that.
And I'll say it again. Klarna, which I assume is Swedish. Klarna is your smarter everyday spending partner.
Shoppers can use Klarna's Pay in 4 product to split their purchase into 4 interest-free payments.
That's right. Here's some key takeaways. Listen up, brother. Klarna offers a Pay in 4 product where you don't have to pay interest. I think that's a good thing.
You can pay with Klarna at merchant checkout, in the Klarna app, or with the Klarna card.
You can also compare prices at your favorite stores and earn cash back when you shop in the app.
They're making it effortless for in-app shoppers to get more value from every purchase. So choose Klarna at your favorite retailers or shop now at Klarna.com. CA resident loans made or arranged pursuant to a California finance law license. NMLS number 1353190.
Klarna, balance account required. Klarna may get a commission. Limitations, terms, and conditions apply.
They do.
I'm just going to say it. It's a Klarna summer.
In a fun story, my mom saw Tom Jones in Arizona. Where did she go? The Arizona Financial Center? Dude, Tom Jones I think it's a 5,000 seater for Tom Jones. Wow. I knew he's a big star, but he's raking him in. And they really took care of my mom. They gave her she had a knee operations. They gave her a box, moved her into a box. Isn't that nice?
Wow.
Sweet. I want to thank them.
Mom.
She just got her knee replaced.
Maybe I'll go to Arizona and just hang out with her. I'll go, I'm surrogate Dave. We're around the same size.
I said, why'd you get your knee replaced? She goes, it wasn't that bad, but I want to fight Dana. So I want to have it as strong as possible. I was like, ooh, why? She didn't even tell me why.
By the way, just did this for a second. Tom Jones is my wife's, might be her favorite.
Oh, really?
Now, he's had a renaissance. He's been on these talent shows, and he's somebody who just has not lost his voice. And he sings like Pavarotti, but as a rock star. So if young people are listening, just YouTube, Tom Jones.
The funniest thing is my mom is so stoked, and she's waiting. It was last Tuesday. And I went to Las Vegas to that gig, and I had lunch with Nikki, and I look over his shoulder. It says Tom Jones playing here tonight. I was over at the Wynn. He was playing there.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I would have seen him if I wasn't doing a show. And then I thought, if I see him, I'm going to go, my mom is coming to I would have said that.
I saw him once, quick story here at Harrah's, I think in Tahoe. And his pants were incredibly skin tight. I mean, they weren't even pants. So it was like, and then he would turn around for a drink of water, and that you'd hear a lot of the women scream. And then he would turn back and say, literally, I see we have some fanny watchers tonight.
Boy.
Every time he turned around, they would scream, I see the fanny watchers are still pleased.
And then he turns on and goes, I see some weenie watchers are here. And Dana goes, now, he puts his wiener on the outside of his pants. He goes, they're too tight. I got to put it on the outside.
He was famously gifted downstairs. And I guess famously Milton Berle had the same problem or dilemma or whatever and came to him and wanted to show him. And so this Tom Jones told the story. And then Tom Jones said, yes, he had me beat. But I turned around and I heard a little sound and I knew he was a fanny watcher.
Fanny watcher. Yeah. You know what? I didn't even check with my mom if she's a fanny watcher. I did not even, ask her ahead of time.
Well, does she find, because he was
she loves him.
Full-blown sex symbol in the 60s with women throwing things and all that.
Her favorites are Elvis, then Willie, and then Tom Jones. We went and saw Willie once together. It was great. And now Tom Jones.
And what about Engelbert Humperdinck?
You know what? Last night I looked up Tom Jones on YouTube, no joke, because I wanted to hear Green Grass of Home, Tearjerker, and Delilah. And it was an old video of like the old cool 70s shows where it's like a weird kind of bright set. And he's in a Engelbert singing, who looks like Brad Pitt. And Brad could easily play him in a movie. He looked exactly like him in this clip.
Yeah.
And then Tom interrupts him. and then they start singing each other's songs, like that old, innocent, kind of cool. They both have tuxes on. They start taking.
Oh yeah, it's
anyway. They're great. They're both great.
No. Okay.
Boring, that stuff. Lastly, I would say before we get to the stuff. Oh, the Cannes Film Festival's on. One thing is that all the people that showed up that were, in a little bit of hot water, we'll say. But I just saw the list of James Franco, Ezra Miller, Kevin Spacey, Shia LaBeouf. So they're all there on the carpet doing different things.
Wow, that's an interesting game.
Isn't it interesting? Like maybe they've served their time in jail, of career jail. It's always like a varied time of how long, but are you ever allowed to work again? Are you not? How rough was the crime you did? It's such an interesting thing of like, they're all there, but it's not even America, it's France. So are they grading it on a curve? I don't know.
I know. I mean, it's like, are you convicted in a court of law or not is one bar.
Yeah.
And the other is just,
public opinion,
misunderstanding or whatever, or they, but yeah, I think the canceling thing is tamped down a little bit. We can't like whack them all. Hey,
I actually saw Shia LaBeouf, who I think is kind of cool in the movies.
He's a great actor, man. Yeah.
He was walking down somewhere. It's kind of like, let's say you're at the airport and you're walking, you see a bunch of people that know you. So they're following him and they want him to sign stuff. And I see him, he's getting more and more pissed, but he was very cool about it. I think he's self-aware enough to go, these guys are all in my face. And the second he takes one photo, like if people are walking behind him, he goes, yeah, take a photo. And then they all get in front of him to block him so they can get one. Tries to walk again. No, just sign this one thing for my nephew. And then, but he was very cool because they were really like yelling at him and people get mad and he had to keep moving. So I give him that. He didn't flip out.
Yeah. I mean,
it's hard not to.
It's hard not to because it's a big country and sometimes it's just 15 or 20 people who are not, it used to be in the old days, gee, Mr. Clark Gable, could I get your autograph? And now it's a monetary thing, I guess. And so it's aggressive and sometimes it feels a little scary.
Yeah. It used to be all fans. Now it's not really fans. It's just people that fake fans that say, sign this or, quit being an asshole.
Sign. Yep.
And then you don't sign one and they hate you. And then they go, sign everywhere you sign, please.
You can't win.
Also, I don't love hearing about these standing ovations. Maybe I'm cynical, Dana. But 11 minutes, 9 minutes, these people have nowhere to go. Who can clap their hands in the Guinness Book of World Records for more than like 30 seconds? 10 minutes.
It's become a thing. So
unreal.
There was one director who was outside and he was like, he was looking down and tears coming down his eyes. And they asked him what happened. He goes, we only got the 6 minutes standing ovation.
Yeah.
That's just like nothing.
That's literally zero.
I think they've done an hour. Haven't they?
Yeah, that's a bomb. I think I would say start the standing ovation in the last 20 minutes of my movie when I play mine. And then just so it'll wrap up by the time the movie's over.
I want to be, if Busboys does have a premiere, I'm going to be there.
It'll definitely be in France, yeah.
And I'm going to lead the applause. Maybe it'll just be at some kind of local, whatever, Busby's theater and
listen,
popcorn.
I've heard the word Oscar bait with Busboys, just on rough cuts.
I think that there's no bigger compliment. I mean, the 20-minute standing ovation, but there's no bigger compliment than reviews of actors, people who pretend in front of an electronic lens. Daniel Day-Lewis's performance as Abraham Lincoln is nothing short of a miracle.
It's miraculous.
Yeah, David Spade is a revelation as busboy number 2.
As Marky the busboy. He's exquisite.
He will reorientate the Earth's axis as it revolves around the sun. David Spade is a miracle as busboy Billy.
Instead, it'll be like, David Spade struggled. It seemed to get to the end of the movie in this.
David Spade puts the phone in, phoning it in as he coasts his way through Busboys.
He unbelievably took out a rotary phone. That's how slow his performance was.
David Spade looks lost.
David Spade is in a different movie than Theo Von. What's happening? Does anyone understand this movie? Did they play it backwards? What's going on?
Yeah. If I could understand it, I'd give it a rating. But for this,
I couldn't get through the poster.
This Cub reporter has to say, it's a stinker.
This Cub reporter. I've never seen a movie before, and this is what I start with.
They had the camera set up. Surely people were talking and moving about, but the whole thing is like a fever dream. I don't remember 1 second of
it was a
boys.
One long run-on sentence.
It might have had one laugh, but I fell asleep too long to know if there were more laughs. Hi, I'm a Cub reporter for movies.com/fly.
I sat in the audience, and in an hour and a half, I heard one twitter and one chortle.
Here's my
titter.
Here's my slow motion act out of the premiere of an audience. The audience.
Okay. Good dish. Wagabush, the best in the world.
I hadn't done that before. Good assist on David Spade and Dana Carvey's act out of happy audience member is a tag team extravaganza. One doing sound effects and one pretending to be in slow motion. Okay.
All right. Before we get to some stuff, I'll say thanks for watching the Amazon special. It's doing well. And if you want to go on my TikTok, I put up one of my ET jokes, which gives you a little taste.
And remember,
E.T.,
everybody,
newest
these
movie
things are released on social media. It's a huge universe. So Dandelion is just there like a book on a bookshelf. So that's why we mention it in the ensuing weeks after the premiere. Dandelion,
you can
Amazon Prime.
And go watch it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pop in.
All right, let's look at some stories.
Okay,
what's going on? And we'll keep it snug. We're moving right along.
Let's snug it up a little bit. We're good.
Hey, when investing your money starts to feel like a second job, Betterment steps in with a little work-life balance. It's the automated investing and savings app that handles the work so you don't have to. While they build and manage your portfolio, you build and manage your weekend plans. While they make it easy to invest for what matters, you just get to enjoy what matters. Dana?
Their automated tools simplify the complex and put your money to work, optimizing day after day and again. So go ahead, take your time to rest and recharge, because while your money doesn't need a work-life balance, you do. Make your money hustle with Betterment. Get started at betterment.com. That's BETTERMENT.com. Investing involves a risk. Performance not guaranteed.
What a dumb story.
Here,
I hate
we're
it
looking
already.
at a big red ball on top of Central Park. If you were to combine all 8 billion people on Earth into a giant meatball, it would fit in Central Park.
That's kind of shocking. I would have thought way bigger.
Well, they're saying 8 billion. Let's say the average human, you have got kids and stuff and aboriginals. I mean, maybe the average person is 100 pounds times 8 billion. Heather, it's 1 trillion pounds, and you can fit it in a Central Park.
Who asked AI this one? Yeah, I think 100 pounds, that's what Heather is. But how about the rest of the world that averages like 220? And we're in America, don't forget. So we're not exactly the WAIF model capital of the world.
What are we supposed to take away from that? Eat more, become bigger people, or be proud that we can fit into Central Park? What's our emotional takeaway?
I think it's, did you think it would be bigger or smaller? And is everyone going like this, or is everyone going like this? If they're going like this, it's bigger.
Well, what was the Grand Canyon? And everyone peed in the Grand Canyon? It would
they could not fill it up. They could not fill it up.
Is this all AI or just freaks in a basement?
These are all questions that everyone's asking.
Shut up, Brian. It'd be 8 billion. It'd fit like a meatball. Shut up.
How much meat is in that? Or is it all just people? Do you put meat between the people to round it out?
I don't know. Did you ever see Soylent Green?
Soylent Green is
people. Soylent Green is people. No, it was with Charlton Heston.
Soylent Green. Yeah, I did see it. Scared me.
Dead for thousands of years. The late great Phil Hartman did the best Chuck Heston. Man. Yeah.
Okay, next
All
one.
Right, next.
Oh, this is interesting. OpenAI co-founder wanted to build Doomsday Bunker to protect scientists because he thinks if AI takes over, the guy that knows the most about it is terrifying. He's like, I'm scared. Let's build a bunker while we're developing AI because we might have to hide. AI will fucking find you in 2 seconds. What are they thinking? If AI's after you.
There are people that go, it's going to help mankind. You don't know. And then there are people who really think humans will not be the only, we will be obsolete and maybe sort of, we must be eliminated. There's been so many movies from the 50s, and there also was a Star Trek episode about this with William Shatner. Remember Nomad, I think it was called, or whatever. It was just this metal thing. It was like 10 feet tall, and it would just wander around the universe and destroy civilizations. And it did it for 1 trillion years until it ran into the logic of James T. Kirk. So it's like, I am Nomad. I must destroy imperfection. But you yourself are imperfect. All they had to do was say that. I'm imperfect, and it exploded. A billion years, it destroyed universes. It took Bill Shatner 20 seconds to wipe him out.
Have you seen some of those?
Don't know what you're doing.
Thought that was over.
Can't believe you want to destroy. Sorry, go ahead.
You're a little piece of tinfoil.
You must destroy all life, but you are part of that life.
You are really being a bummer.
No wonder William Shatner. I don't know how he didn't just pull his neck out or something or hurt his back. You can't believe what you say. You believe. It's not my best impression. We need to get Kevin Pollak in here.
You're pretty good.
But it's a fun impression. So anyway.
Also, I saw some Elon Musk robots, and they're really like putting on the Ritz. Like they're not just like they're like They're almost doing fucking Billie Jean out there. And you go, it's getting too fast.
Well, think of it this way, David, if I may. Think of the Wright brothers on a basic homemade glider going 120 feet. Then 50 years later, 60 years later, you've got 500 silly monkeys 10 miles in the sky going across the ocean. We're going to make a leap in AI, from a glider to a 747. So you don't know what's coming. I know you're scared. Here's my quick new impression of you about AI. Quick impression. What's going on? I don't understand. I don't know. What are we supposed to do? And what's going to happen?
You can't see below peeing my pants.
Of joy or fear?
Fear.
Okay, kind of like the guy at the airport.
So planes went from Kitty Hawk to Newark.
To Newark, yes.
It's falling apart.
AI. Well, look, what we'll do to be ahead of ourselves soon, because Google AI came out and they're making movies that are totally accurate. What we're going to do is we're going to ask AI to make a podcast with digital copies of us and then see if it's better than what we actually do.
It will be, Dana. I'm scared it will be so much better. And then come on
at the end and go, well, sorry. Or we make tons of podcasts and sit back and collect cash.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I think all the comments will be, that was a perfect show. And I'll be like, well, that was the AI one. They're like, oh, get back to that dog shit you normally do. We like that.
Guess what's possible with AI and, robo-taxis, Waymos all over the place? Somebody could buy 10 robo-taxis. Might cost them 100, 200 grand or something.
I'll do it.
And then the robo-taxis can monetize 24/7. I guess they just have to recharge themselves. But while you sleep,
I can safely say, what do you hate money? Are you not going to do that? Or do you like money?
Was it possible that I have robo-taxis working for me right now?
I know, right now.
Whoops, sorry.
Oh, Ron, your brand.
Sometimes the future arrives sooner than you think.
Welcome to
Look
a
at
money
the room
machine.
I can afford and the jean jacket I stole from the photo shoot.
There better be a pile of money behind that wooden balsa door.
Well, you go every day. You're trying to like find out what you're going to wear. I put on my uniform and I realize you're like pink today, maybe a gray hoodie.
No, the problem is the people at home don't know this. I reluctantly relinquished black t-shirt to Dana. So Dana loves black t-shirt. We all do. But I always think, okay, if he's wearing a black t-shirt, I have to wear one of my frilly little numbers because he's cornered that market. So this one's purple. I didn't go black because everyone goes, are you the same person? Can you tell it's purple? It's kind of dark.
Well, I won't. Just FYI to our audience, I may spiff up this a little bit.
Whoa!
Like I could put something behind me.
Oh yeah, we got some stuff coming. So
yeah, so we'll see. I mean, don't panic or don't throw a party, but just know that there's possibilities. I like Where's Waldo. I like when I was in the New York hotel, or when I'm at the hotel down in LA, or I'm at a farm. You never know. It's where is he?
Where's Dana?
They always know where you are.
Yeah. Because they can hear the construction out front. Beep, beep. Oh, I might get a funny thing I'm going to bring on this. Only for you, and it's a write-off. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not saying one thing.
What?
You're
not telling me what you're thinking?
No, I will. I'll do it, and I'll bring it, and then you'll be like, oh, okay. But I got to order it.
Oh.
I'll charge it to Odyssey. Look at my nose. It's so bendy. Look at that. It's so weird.
Yeah, I know. I just got a text from, hi, it's David's housekeeper. His nose is also very bendy. What the fuck?
She goes, you ever going to get rid of that dent in your nose up there? And I go, why should I? She goes, maybe it's just the lighting in here, but it really sticks out like a sundial. I go, okay, well,
so anyway, I had an MRI yesterday that I actually enjoyed, and I think I fell asleep just for like a hip thing. But I was in there for 45 minutes in the tube, and they are funny because right in front of you is two bolts and a little open slit, so it looks like an AI face, kind of
looks like a face.
It's like, and then it just I don't know if people you've been in one recently. It's like no, but it starts out right. And it's quiet, and then it's like, and then it's finally, it's like,
it's crazy.
And then it goes silent for like 15. Well, only one time that I almost tried to sit up, but they had me strapped in. It's like, and then it stopped. 15 seconds. I'm like,
yeah. It's so hard to like, if you do it for your head, or I've done it for my neck, obviously, but you're in there like this. The guy's like, are you okay in there? Are you freaking out? And I go, not, because you have to go in like this, and it's so tight. You get to about here, and you go, they go, you might have an anxiety attack. Are you okay? You want to?
Are you claustrophobic? No. Yeah, they ask.
Well, I not really, but then when you're like this, I'm like, I guess you have to be, and then you get like this. Then he goes, all right, we're going to start here. And I go, okay. He goes, you're going to hear some noises, and it goes like this. It goes bung, bung, like you said, and then it goes. Kang, kang, kang.
Oh,
you're like, you can't even hear anything. It's maddening for 45 minutes.
Because of the tube and the way I went in and those sounds and the guy doing that. Are you okay in there? I felt like I was in, I thought I was in 2001, I mean, I felt like I was inside that movie somehow. And so I kind of enjoyed it, but they put earphones. Here's what they did. It sounds like a bit. They put earplugs and then big ear canceling on top, and then started talking to me. And I just looked at him, I was like,
yeah.
And I go, I can't hear one word you're saying.
Mine were still, I could still hear him. It goes bang, bang. Then there's a 10-second silence. And he goes, think your guy's going to do another Grown Ups? I go, what's that?
It's funny. I thought if you weren't going for that then, I was going to go for
get that.
So what was up with the Turtle Man and Master of Disguise?
Yeah. Why wasn't Dana at the reunion?
What's up with Spade's hair today? What do you mean hair today? I'm in an MRI machine. MRI.
David, did you get the message I gave your housekeeper about your baggy eyes?
Is there any way I could get an advance copy of Busboys?
David, if I don't have Amazon Prime, can you send me a link?
Why does yours sound so metallical?
It's funny. I don't know why it's funny.
What was with Church Lady and what Spade came in and did Hunter Biden? What was that about?
If you don't go to the 60th anniversary, will you let Spade borrow your Church Lady wig?
Would Spade fit in that wig, or would you need a refit?
Yours still sounds like it too. I like it. Mine's got a big squishy thing on it though.
No, I took this off for a more metallic sound.
Okay, go ahead.
So what's up with Spade? No, seriously. And meanwhile, the background noise. But I did say, can you slow down the noise?
Also, in a side story, we found a huge lump or some sort of foreign object in your body. I think someone left a scalpel there when you got your hernia last time. Anyway, so what's going on with bench warmers?
Can you slow down the noises?
Hey, I have two more questions about Dana, so I turned the machine off for a while. I go, no, keep it going. I want to keep this. I want to finish the MRI. No, it's too loud. Anyway, what else is happening?
Since my hands are like this, can you mind if I play a little blues harp?
Last question from my nurse. Are you too old to have a TikTok?
That's a good one.
Simple yes or no.
Oh, sometimes our job cracks me up.
Right. we could end on that if you want.
Yeah, I think it was funny.
Yeah, it was good.
I think it was a nice tight episode for our fans.
I'm really proud of us.
Yeah. And
that should be our name for our podcast. I'm proud of us. We're proud of us.
Yeah, we don't have what other people have, but we've got hope.
We got us,
and we got high hopes. Mm-hmm. Next week, I want to talk about why the movement to hate baby boomers. There's a lot of people talking about boomers.
We'll go deep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We haven't had anybody on for a while. Maybe we'll get somebody on.
Yeah, maybe get Tim Dillon to talk about that. He's pretty funny about it.
It's funny. We can get him to hate anything.
He's got some good hot takes. Funny.
He was on CNN the other day, and he's just ripping on everything. It's so funny.
That is entertaining.
Okay, thanks for coming, Dana. Thanks for coming by my podcast. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Just for a second, you've been on Dana Carvey Superfly with my guest today, David Spade.
With David Spade.
With David Spade.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Superfly is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, Heather Santoro, and Greg Holtzman. Hope you liked it. Ooh.